You still there, Rich?
Yep, I'm still here. Sorry, I'm typing.
Okay, you're okay.
Send up the title for our stream. I was supposed to do this ahead of time, but I got distracted. But dice. The dice that distracted me. Alright, I'm going to keep all the tags. All one of them. Alright, update information. Back up a little bit. Alright, and I'm on, if anyone ever joins us on the stream. Will I pay attention? Probably not, because I'll be doing other things, but I'm here. So, welcome to tonight's stream. If you guys are watching, follow along, all that fun stuff, cool beans, shoot comments, hop on our Discord and shoot things, because I'll actually see the messages that way. I only have one screen, so I don't get to look at OBS the whole time and make judgment calls until the end of this. This is our 4th session of Starfinder, and tonight we had some scheduling conflicts with our other members. We've recently lost a player as of last session, so they will not be returning. But our other player who's not here tonight will be returning. They were just busy. So, instead of canceling this week, we're going to do a couple different methods of playing through the game. RJ Daggerhouse here has kindly enough decided to help me with this. And we'll be doing a 2-man adventure / kind of 3-man adventure, because the other player that's not here has given us permission to run his character in the background. And he may be sent on his own / be with us when we need him, kind of as we go through the story. It's going to be a lot of me talking, so to help differentiate between me as a player, because I am playing the ever so exciting Raj, the android. When Raj is speaking, it'll just be me. But when I'm speaking as a DM, I'm going to put on my fancy DM hat and do that. I'm trying to figure out a hat for NPC talking. I might just get a ball cap or something that is easy to throw on top of my headphones. But we'll get to that later. That's in the future planning silliness. RJ, can you give us a quick recap of what happened last session?
Last session, we were taking our ship and going to the next place where we were looking for what happened to us, and we ran into some aggressively flown other ships that turned into a star battle, and then we had to kick their booty and take their ships.
Okay, yeah, and you kind of did. You destroyed two completely. You left the last one mostly alive along with the pilot, and had Pandora commandeer it with the pilot inside, so she can kind of go off on her own, because she really didn't want to continue flying with you guys for a bit. You got her off planet, and that's all she wanted to deal with for whatever reason. She said if you meet her in the future, she'd be happy to help you guys out, but she has her own vendetta that she wanted to solve all on her own, because drama, that'll be cray. But without a rock star, that leaves us with myself, the android, who is a operative. RJ's Calisty, someone eventually is going to correct me on these names, which is our forearmed soldier, and our little rat person. Oh god, what is his name? I'm just going to call him the priest for now because I can't remember his silly name. But it's something mouse related.
I think I have it written down, actually.
Oh, if you could tell me, that'd be great, because, again, I always forget these things. But anyway, our next bit of adventure, we're starting in the ship itself, after getting Pandora out, throwing her out the airlock, and letting her take off. The three of us sit behind the console and go, well, we don't have a captain. Good thing we don't need one of those. And we continue our adventure. We were heading towards a nearby space station, that we don't know affiliates, allegiance, anything. We just have it scanned on the things. And the 3 ships that we ran into on the way here were cleaning up ships they had destroyed previously. So chances are the things we just blew up probably belong to the station we're about to go to. But, you know, we'll cross that bridge when it slaps us in the face.
So I think it was LORF. Lorf?
Lorf. That's a weird name.
Lorf.
Okay, well, Lorf it is for now until he corrects us and goes, that's not what I said, you weirdos. I'm sure he will text us if he gets upset. Hey, we got someone watching us. Hello, person watching us. Feel free to talk in the chats again. I'll try and pay attention to my phone every once in a while and catch up on messages. As long as it doesn't turn off, I gotta poke it every couple minutes. Anyway, so flying. My character's got to finish replotting a course that's super simple, because we are not super far away. Alright. 19 plus pluses. With my piloting skill of a lot. Piloting, there it is. Wow, I have a 14 or 15. I think it's supposed to be 15. Let's see. Or 17? 6, but that's okay, never mind, it's 14. Don't listen to me, I can't do math. Which is terrible for a DM. It'll come back to me eventually. Hey, 14 plus 19, I kill it. I know exactly where we're going. Bing, bing, satellite. We travel for a few more hours to get to where we need to go, narrowly avoiding asteroids and things along the way, because we are in a large asteroid belt. Surprise, surprise. We are, as we're piloting, you guys will, actually I should probably throw the DM hat on here. As you guys are piloting, you guys will know that you guys are in the dysphoria, right? Dysphoria, something like that. Anyway, it's a large asteroid belt system that is the equivalent of a planet, because all the of the miners stuff and the criminal elements and the random stuff that have been set up in these asteroids to mine things. It's a very pirate-heavy area that, unless you're going there to resupply, people try to avoid as much as possible. But since it's an asteroid belt, it kind of, you know, goes around. As you guys approach the station, it is relatively small. You would note that your ship will be a tight fit in its cargo bay, and it has several external ports that look like, you know, you wear a spacesuit or whatever, or like you saw earlier, the ships it docks with are probably mostly robotic. The station itself is only a couple levels tall, kind of looks like a giant flying saucer, except for it's not perfectly round. It's got a level on top, a level on bottom, and a mid-tier level that is attached to an outward-facing cargo bay with a small force field attached to it. Like I stated before, the ship you are flying will fit barely, and that's if there's room in there already, and or if you, you know, just fly it in there and see what happens, which I would not suggest. But that is on the three of you. Our handy-dandy mouse man suggests that we take it slow and steady, because we have no idea what these guys' allegiances are. Should probably do some investigation, and or we could park the Revenge out here and try to fly in if we have spacesuits, which I don't believe you guys have, but maybe. Looking at my character. I got the cool arc pistol. But that's it. Let's see what else. I do not seem to have an actual flight suit that would, excuse me, allow me to be in space, because this is its own special item. I have a second skin for my armor, but that's about it. What about you, RJ? I know Mouse Man does not.
I'm looking. Hold on a second.
Okay, dokie. It should be on your second page in equipment.
Ceremonial plate.
Yeah, I think you picked plate armor, so you probably don't have one either, which is probably something we should think about picking up in the near future. Just, you know, you should probably have one per person. The ship we're in has escape pods, luckily, so if we ever get blown up, we can hop in the escape pods. But if we ever have to do any outside maintenance in space or something, we're kind of SOL. Maybe that's something we should search for while we are in here. Now, speaking of that, I actually don't need one necessarily, because I don't have to breathe. Well, the advantage of being an android. Besides getting free upgrades to my armor, I also don't have to breathe all the time. Check and make sure I'm not lying, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Hey, camera, come back. I believe in you. Also, remind me when we get to doing stuff on the map to enlarge my picture so it's, a whole screen instead of half a screen with you guys' blank pages on there. I'm forgetting every time I do it. Yoski. I keep calling him, I call him a Yoski because that's his race. Just as a FYI. Oh, nice. Okay, so in addition, androids do not breathe or suffer the normal environmental effects of being in a vacuum. So if anyone throws some air-induced poison, I'm just going to be like, ha! Fools! I don't have to breathe! And or if I get thrown out of the ship, I'll be, just kidding, I'm fine! Raj over here, doing his best. So, what would you like to do? What is your plan of attack there, soldier? Raj, in character, will say, I think it'd be easiest to hail these guys and see if they'll let us land. We have a little bit of damage that could be worked on. Honestly, from our last encounter, we didn't get touched. Like, they got our shields one time and that was it. So we might have some scratch paint or something like that we could pass off as damage and see if we can land on the inside and then go from there. Then again, we could just go here, refuel, make sure that our jump drive is working, and head off somewhere completely different. The only thought is the pirates that captured you guys and killed my captain, more or less, are somewhere in this asteroid belt.
It's like we look for news, right?
We could, and I mean, they might totally have it there. We don't know how friendly or mean this outstation is. We're far enough away to be out of detector range that we know of, because they haven't hailed us at all. And excuse me. Ironically, we have some of their scrap that they that they were collecting, and some of their ships. We're gonna say we're towing that along with us, or pick some up before we took off. Which is just going to be the assumed thing for in space, is you guys will pick up what you can from the debris unless you're running for your lives kind of thing. So you will have some scrap to sell if necessary. Now, if you go through the scrap and find that, hey, this has a torpedo launcher magically, cool. But that's neither here nor there. That'll take extra investigation. Otherwise, you just have a scrap pile that you're like, we'll sell this for a whopping 10 credits per. Also, speaking of credits, you guys do have some. Which I hope someone wrote down, because you have 3 or 4 credit sticks that are worth a couple thousand somewhere amongst the crew. I'm sure Pandora took her share with her and did not kindly give it out to you guys because she needs money too.
So yeah, so we have 4 credit sticks, 1 credit card, a slide gate key, pulse pistol, and a comm
thing. Yeah. So with the what was that? Oh, okay. So with the slide gate key, I think it was supposed to be side gate key because I think that was for the place where you guys are at. And then the credit cards / the other credit container things are all the same devices. They just store your credit on them.
Gotcha.
And then, pistols are pistols. Use those when you can, and or get rid of them. You're gonna have plenty of loot that you guys pick up to this adventure that's just gonna be like, this is worse than what we have. I don't think I'll ever use this. Let's sell it for a half price or whatever, or 10th price. I'll look at the rules of selling stuff when you guys get there, but don't expect to make a lot of money from selling things unless you're selling very expensive stuff beyond your level.
Okay, so the 4th level is 6,000 XP, Raj. So we have 3,900.
Yes, yeah. So you guys are over halfway there, but you got a while to go to hit 4th.
Yeah.
Like I said, last session didn't net you guys a lot. We only played for a couple hours, if that, and you only had one major thing, which was the space combat. You got off the planet, which is where you guys got the extra 50 experience points each or whatever from. But the combat itself was not super crazy. But it wasn't meant to be. It was exciting and took forever because we were in space and you were letting me fly the whole time. As much as I enjoy it, being the pilot and the DM is silly. But that's okay. We'll deal with that coming forward. So, do you have a plan for getting on this base, or are we going with the hail them and hope it works out well?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're not stealthy enough, I think, to go sneaking in it. You know what I mean? There's another ship to hide behind as it goes in or anything like that, right?
Correct. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a lot of movement. Both of its external ports are unoccupied. And again, its hangar bay may or may not be full. It's got a shielded door in the way, blocking you from being able to see what's on the inside. So, you guys move forward a bit and get into signal range and almost instantaneously get an automated message asking for clearance code or to send a reply if you don't have a clearance code. Ship's basically on repeat, send clearance code, send clearance code, send clearance code. If you don't have a clearance code, please send something else. So, you guys, boop bada doop, send in your own transmission. Saying this is the Ermax Revenge. We are sitting just at the station, hoping to land for some resupply, refuel, whatever we can get. Waiting on response to land and location. A minute or two later, a skinny-looking insectoid alien pops up on the screen and skitters for a couple seconds, which translates roughly to Ermax Revenge. We only have external parking or porting. Can your ship land on the outside? We'll extend an air tube, if that's alright with you. I assume you don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, what choice do we have?
You send an affirmative and can do. So we fly to the. Do you want the left or the right? There's only two. Your choice.
Let's go to the left.
Okay, so you go to the left side of this thing and hook up. Once you get to the left side, you do actually notice that there are two similar pads in the back that you couldn't see from where you guys were at originally. That have two whole ships on there. Though the two ships over there, one looks to be like a decked out fighter of some sort, and probably an Ididarian something. And the other one is a large would-be transport vessel. It looks like it's probably the scrap carrier or something like that. After it gets processed at the base here, it probably ships in and out. The carrier itself looks like it is currently being loaded. So, you guys take a couple minutes to land. You see a small, skittering insectoid alien come out with what is called an air tube. And it's really just that exactly. It's a tube with air that runs from the ship to the outside for ships that don't have docking bays or whatnot, or can't land on the inside. It's not super big, but the two of us can fit through relatively easy, and the Yoski has no problem crawling through it, and he tags along gleefully behind us, making fun of us the entire time.
So we can set the cyborg or the android or the AI to make sure that no one can get in the ship, get locked out, and send an alarm to us if there's a problem.
So she can do her best. You tell her to guard the ship, she'll make a fake imaginary gun and it'll pop up in front of her. I got this! That's as sarcastic it is. There's no internal defense systems, and our defense system periods is not super strong. So we have a good computer. We do not have a good defense system on our ship. It's relatively easily hackable, unfortunately. Which, maybe that's something you guys spend time and money on the next time it levels up. But that's neither here nor there. Give me a second while I set up the mappity. Woo! Set this in the corner as a big old cargo ship. And set the crazy looking dragon in the corner over there to represent this fancy Starfinder. And then let's find some people. I love tokens. I do not like the fact that I do not have any Starfinder tokens, and it's something I will have to get in the near future. Because tokens are good, but they giant rat / dragonborn do not really make a lot of sense in the setting we're playing in. Alright. That's probably enough crew. Alright, and I'm going to flip all these guys to gray currently, or gold, to represent that they are not necessarily hostile.
So we're still looking at you. We're not looking at the board at this point.
I know. I'm setting it up. It's going to be a surprise. It's going to look real good. There's a lot of gold people. What does gold mean? I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Alright. Whee! Of course, I just goofed all that up, but you know, whatever. I'll reset. Oh no, there goes my key. Apologize for the small earthquake that I'm experiencing, apparently. One of these days I'll have this camera like figured out, so I won't do all this craziness while I'm trying to do things. Hey! That's a pretty good view, eh? Alright, click full screen. Bam! Hey, look, you can see us. We're right here.
Hold on just a second. I'm pulling over.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I actually didn't mess up that too bad. I'm gonna throw... Yeah, no, 2 guys in there are good. So obviously the horsey's in the corner is the big old transport ship, and the would-be dragon is our small freighter over there. The freighter that you see in front of you, right here, is what's the best? It's a single-man fighter. It looks like another one of those ones that you guys fought earlier, though it looks to be under-repaired.
Oh, okay.
There's space for what looks to be 1, maybe 2 more in this docking bay. Like, they could repair a ship if your guys decided they really needed to, but it would be very cramped, and they'd have to currently move the ship over. I should probably DM hat. Well, you guys can't. Well, you can't see me. I'm hiding in the corner today instead of in the middle of the screen. Hopefully, that's working out well. So, DM hat on. My character will talk when he needs to, but sitting directly in front of you is the bug Tirahu, whatever, alien, this guy right here, who handed out the air tube. He asks you how he can help and what all you guys need.
How are we on fuel, Raj?
In all honesty, we're probably pretty close to full.
Okay.
Just because we did just take this off, it wouldn't be terrible to tell him we need to top off, just so he has something he can do, even if it's not a lot. Because again, we've only been flying for what, a day and a half, 2.
Gotcha. And then, is there any munitions that we need to resupply?
So we're gonna say for the most part those are resupplied on their own. They kind of just get generated by the ship themselves.
Gotcha. Okay.
Unless there's something special that you are looking to buy to change the type of munitions that you're firing, like permanently, or maybe only for a 1 or 2 time use. But using the regular torpedo launcher and or your guns, they don't take up munitions that you guys will be able to buy, sell, whatever.
Gotcha.
Not saying that you can't find munitions and sell them. Just the stuff that you guys have currently, you won't have to worry about. So, that being said, he looks through your stats on the ship and says, well, this shouldn't take me more than 10-20 minutes. Is there anything else you need to do while you're here? not quite an open port, but we got a couple other ships for refilling and restocking at the moment. Do you have anything you're trying to trade?
We try and train them back to their broken ships, or should we save those for someplace else?
That's on you. That's 100% on your character's choice. Now, to be fair, it's not like the parts that you were bringing in are like, oh hey, here's the side of the ship that said the squash bug, and they'll be like, oh, the squash bug, that's our ship. I mean, and in all honesty, if you did, they probably wouldn't be high tier upset because you saved them the effort of bringing their ship back. You think?
Um, so we're kind of actually looking for maybe some spacesuits.
Spacesuits. Well, that would be an important thing to have on a spaceship. Hey, would you mind if I just hopped on board and gave your ship a quick run through? You guys look like a little bit hashtag with your current flying party. Do you have a captain I can talk to? Ross
Uh,
goes,
we, okay. Go ahead.
they fumble in words for a second. Say, I'm a pilot. I guess that's close enough. He goes, well, about that. And then suddenly, out of the background, our rat friend says, "Nay, I'm the captain now." And the small man and the small rat look at each other and they go, "I'll guide you through the ship. Come on, otherwise the AI would blast you away." And he takes him away, and they are on the ship. I'm just gonna move these guys to the corner where you can't see them. So, the only other person in the hangar who is currently working on the ship looks to be a mechanic. He is, we'll say he's a human, and he's just under there working.
So I guess we just go into the station and see if we can find some place that might want to trade for some spacesuits.
Okay, so you guys pass this way. Before you guys leave, the bug man turns to you guys and says, "I'll offload the scrap and get you guys a total and whatnot when we get back here. Though, just so you know, boss man pretty much only deals with captain, so I'll send him, that way when the time's right. We continue forward. So the entrance that isn't locked, because the other side apparently is, leads you guys into a small food court. There's some automated servers chopping up food and whatnot. Would be gruel. Looks to be pretty generic, gray, oozy, white, colorless meat, that kind of stuff. There is a human and a Vex sitting there. Well, the human is currently grabbing food, and the Vex is eating a large pile of it in the corner. You guys do anything here, or continue walking?
I guess. Well, do they look like they live there, or they look like they're traveling through? Can we tell?
Go ahead and make a sense motives check. I'm gonna do this very often. It'll be fun. we will do them a lot because it's basically a perception check, but for people.
So 14. Well, plus what is the thing I'm looking for?
Sense motives. It's pretty much at the bottom of your list. It's a wisdom-based skill.
So 14.
14 total. So who are you sensing, the human or the Vex? Or does it matter?
The human.
Okay. As you investigate the human, I kind of look over at the Vex. The Vex is just eating and hungry, which tells me he probably has been out flying for quite some time. It would make sense that maybe he is the pilot of one of the other ships. Whether it's the one in the docking bay or one of the two parked outside. The human, on the other hand, looks to be a maintenance worker, just like the mechanic who was working on the ship on the inside. He seems to be very relaxed in this environment. So, with that being said, do you move on or keep walking? Or sorry, do you move on or stay in talk?
Let's move on.
Okay, you guys go out here. Boop, 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 doo. And you come into an ecosphere, right? This is where the water and air and various other necessary supplies. Boom, that looks better. Uh, are grown slash made. There seems to be 3 worker. I'm going to call them worker bees, which is ironic because they're insectoids. But 3 insectoids tending to the stuff in here, with one, again, looks like to be a human maintenance person working on some kind of machine in the corner. There looks to be small vendors attached here. Medical supplies, more food supplies, odds and ends, and a small weapon shop. They are all manned by built-in robotic assistants.
So there's no stores with people in them, you're saying?
Nope, they're all have like a virtual screen that pops out, and basically they're one step above candy dispensers.
Gotcha. So I guess, can we just look around and see if there's anybody in here besides the 2 people in the food court?
Well, I just described them. The 3 people here, 1, 2, 3, are all bug people, and they are tending to either the machines or the greenery that is growing food slash producing air and water.
Right.
And then there's a humanoid guy in the corner here. You can see all of them relatively clearly, and he's working on not one of the machines, but something else electronic in the corner. It might be a vent system or something like that.
So they all look like maintenance workers for the. They don't look like merchants.
Correct. But there are 4 vending machines, we'll call them, in this room. There are also 2 other doors. One of them on top just has like crudely painted above it the words "boss's room." Keep out unless invited. And then there looks to be one that leads to the other. We'll call it waiting area, bay, loading dock, whatever you want to call it. It's just the other tactical part of the ship. You will also notice that there is 2 ladders that they're not kind of off screen here. Here that lead to the upper and lower decks. They're just basic ladders that you can climb up and down. You could assume that above leads to some kind of communications array and whatnot, and below leads to some kind of engine room. Raj says, well, we could probably talk to the boss, or get some information off these guys. I'm sure they'd love someone to talk to. Or we can see if the other crews that we saw earlier have any information from places beyond here. You will also notice that. Put my hat back on. You will also notice that both the ladders say restricted to base personnel only. Oh, well, we've lost him. I guess it's just me for a minute. Anyway, hope you guys are enjoying this so far. For the one viewer that's in here, feel free to do the comments and whatnot. I'm actually gonna pick it. Oh, hey, wow, I'm gonna on the chat. So sad. Oh, we've been playing for 30 minutes so far. Nice. It's all been set up, baby. Talking. Get that out the way for now. He returns, victorious, hopefully.
People asking questions.
Ah, gotcha. Well,
Did I have to answer? I don't know.
that's silly. All good though. So, back to the question. Where did you leave off at?
So there's no merchant looking guys.
No, there's just the would-be uh, stores. You would know that most of the stores like this have a semi-competent AI installed into them. They have some kind of personality for talking and banter, and they change prices and things like that as necessary. So they're not, it's like a shopkeeper, but they're not, a person.
So do you think we should go talk, wait for the insect on the ship to trade with him, or try and figure out someone here to trade with?
So like I said, you have your own credits, or we have our own credits as a group. You can spend your own credits here. The only thing the dude on the ship is going to do is hand Ratman McGee any extra money he is taking off of him, basically. Um, and he'd probably just direct you to which of the 4 places he'd suggest you go to spend the money, kind of thing.
Gotcha. I just dropped my stupid pen.
You fool!
Oh, let me tell you. Well, I have another pen, so I would just go to the other pen. Pen number 2. All right, and it's 2142.
So, there goes all my dice. Where do you want
I
to
guess.
go?
So let's go to the one that looks like it might have spacesuits for sale in it, I guess.
Okay, so the odds and ends one, which is look at this one. We'll say it's this one. We move over to the corner and are presented with a friendly face. Though just generic enough to not tell what race or creature or whatever, it's basically just a smiley face on a screen that pops up. Hello, gentlemen. How can I be of assistance? I should probably get my voice changer for this, but it's across the room, so I'm not going to.
We're looking to see if you might have a spacesuit that'd work for me.
A spacesuit for someone of your size / number of arms? Let me see if I can fulfill that order. Way past equipment. Let's back up a bit. Equipment here. It's around here somewhere. Here we are. Excuse me. Okay, that. Sorry, it's all in alphabetical order, so you're gonna find the right one. Here we go. Station wear. Many types of reinforced clothing. That's not what we want. It's in. Calculating. Sorry. But still, I was looking over for what you need. So a station wear flight suit is a type of light armor. It costs 95 credits.
And does that include a helmet? Is it the whole thing, or?
That's what I'm looking for to make sure.
Okay.
Okay, so. Unless otherwise specified, all armors protect you from a range of hazards to ensure that you can survive at least a few days. Prepared to hold the ship, explore alien worlds. Some overseas. Okay, so my apologies. Your let me look at your ceremonial armor really quick. Ceremonial plate. There we are. So, according to the book, most armors have a built-in field that lets you breathe in space at least for a short amount of time. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to make a fun new item that you can pick up, and it's basically just a flight helmet with extra oxygen that you attach to your character to basically guarantee that if your external suit fails, it won't, kind of thing. So, him looking at one of these, it's basically a flight suit with a little extra, so it'll cost you 150 credits to acquire this gel helmet, as we'll call it, because it compacts nicely into whatever suit you're wearing as a ring that goes around your neck.
Okay, you call it a gel helmet?
Gel helmet, yep. We should probably have at least 3, if not 4, for the ship, just in case.
Okay.
So it'll be what? That's
450?
600 credits
Is that for 4 of them?
for 4 of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have that? Do we have that? Oh, yeah, I haven't looked at my credits in a while.
I've got 63 credits, but we have those credit sticks. I don't know how much is on those.
Yeah, see, that was on the notes, and I'm pretty sure our other player was the one keeping notes for that. Let's see. If you would be so kind as to write down an IOU or something along those lines, I'm pretty sure we had at least one of them that had over 1,000 credits. So just put us a negative 600 from group funds.
Okay.
Yeah, speaking of credits, how much does my character say it has? Yeah, my credits allegedly are only 50, but I know we haven't divided any of the stuff up because we haven't been to a station. And this is where canonically we could go to one of these vendors and transfer those credit chips to our character's personal chips, kind of thing. For a slight fee, and they'd happily redistribute the credits. Which, honestly, excuse me as I adjust myself on camera there. Honestly, just would be something that's negatable. I mean, you'd spend 10 credits a card or something silly to get it redistributed. So take another, we'll say 50 credits off for transferring stuff to divide amongst us. And when we get our actual money, we'll divide it evenly amongst ourselves.
Okay.
So, that being said, where were we? Yeah, you've bought the gels. Now these will not count as a upgrade to your suit because it's literally something you just throw over your head and activate before you go outside the ship, kind of thing. It's not something you're gonna want to wear normally when you're just walking around because you could break them or something silly. They're more of an emergency / hey, I'm gonna go work on the ship, or hey, I know I'm going to into space for an extended period of time kind of item.
Right.
Okay, so you've acquired those.
All right.
Again, I'm going to assume that you guys have about 3,000 credits worth of credits as a group fund. If I remember correctly. If someone who has watched these before, because we still have a viewer here, remembers, let me know. Check something real quick on my phone. Don't mind me. Alright, that looks good. Anyway. So, what do you do next? What's the plan?
Is there any what kind of melee weapons do they have here?
Well, you'd have to go to a different place, but that's actually just right behind you. So you go over here, and I accidentally bump into the small female bug person, Shirian, that is working on something, and I apologize. Sorry, miss. And she clatters at me, and because I speak the language, I understand that she says, "Don't worry about it, just be more careful." of that's super important, but that's a real person. She scurries off to the far side to go what looks to be gossip or talk to another one of her friends. So melee weapons that they have here. They do have some, though it looks like the stuff that is here uh, is relatively low grade. There's nothing super crazy expensive in here. Are you looking for one-handed or two weapons? One-handed or two-handed weapons?
So I have a combat knife, so I'm looking for some kind of axe or pole arm, or something I can use as a staff and as a breaking the wall kind of weapon.
Okay, cool. Give me a second. So two-handed basic melee. There's really nothing better than what you got at your level. There's a dueling sword, which is basically a rapier. Oh, they do have a pulse gauntlet for sale.
They said a pulse gauntlet?
Pulse gauntlet, yep. The sonic weapon. Obviously one-handed. You probably don't want an injection glove. Ooh, cryo spike. It's a little above your level, but not too far. Ooh, a flame dashkako, which is like a fire sword, I assume. There's a tactical pipe, and then a curved blade made of carbon steel. And it is a two-handed weapon, so basically a big old falchion.
It's pretty expensive.
Yeah, $2,000 for that one. I mean, anything that starts getting into the leveled stuff is pretty darn pricey. I mean, the technical price is just shy of 500.
What is a Daska tactical?
It's a type of sword. It's a two-handed sword. It's tactical because it doesn't have any flame or anything like that.
Wish I had a picture of it someplace. That'd be nice.
Let's look at the next couple pages. They failed me. They said, aha. Desco,
Of course.
If you look on page 188 of your book, they have one. It's the very first one on top. So it's if you actually look at the front page, the big old thing that's like a giant plasma axe, that's a Desco.
Red Star Plasma Dasko.
Yeah, except for obviously the one that you'd be looking at is more like
Like a battle axe, basically.
yeah. But the flaming one looks like that, except for it does fire instead of plasma.
How much is the fire one?
The fire one is
750, huh?
Yep. And it has an extra critical. It wounds and does fire damage.
Ooh.
When activated, the blade of the Dasco heats up by means of an internal healing coil. The Dasco deals fire damage and can also cause traumatic injuries. Alright. Wounding. It's on 182 to explain how it works. Wound. Here we go. Roll on table 711. Hey. The target must succeed at a saving throw of the type listed, if any, or suffer the listed effect. If the creature lacks specific location, use general location. So. Oh, interesting. So, depending on how you roll, it determines the location of the attack. So if you roll a 1 to 10, it does bleed. But if you roll a 18 or 19, you do 1d4 con damage. That's super cool. Ooh, fancy. That page is on 183 to explain the wounding weapon types. Huh. That might be worth getting. You might have to dip into some group funds for it, but hey. What do you think?
Yeah, I actually think that's probably wouldn't be a bad thing to grab.
Okay. Well, again, theoretically, we have 3,000 credits to spend as a group before breaking it up. So you would be taking your third of the money and spending it on a sword, basically. But I believe that is a good thing to get at this point.
Oshkan, Oshkn, Flame Ember.
Flame get them.
Level 2, 1d8 flame damage, wound critical, and 20 per charge, 1 per use. Okay. I like that. I like it.
It's good stuff. Good stuff indeed.
Now to transfer that to my character sheet. Where is my... Oh, there it is. Like, where's the iPad?
Well, I had that arc pistol. I'm probably pretty good with that for now. Ooh, but a sonic pistol, Thunderstrike. That sounds fun. It'd be super loud, but whatever.
Oh, so I need to move my tactical knife out of the way, or what the heck?
You only got like 3 slots or something, so which is
4,
funny
yeah.
because you have 4 arms.
Yeah, so I'll just put it down here in notes.
Yeah, unfortunately, the sonic pistol is way out of our price range. I could get a flame pistol, I guess. That's not too expensive, but 470 for something that just does a little extra on criticals. I ain't worried about it. Frostbite looks good, but way too expensive. And then if we go to sniper rifles, because that's the other thing I can buy that does anything special. Yeah, it would be way too much money for our stuff. And our group already has one. If I need to steal one, I'll steal it from you. Okay, so there's no weapons that my character needs, and I'm pretty happy with the armor I have. I assume you are also happy with the armor you have?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Again, there's the medical thing. And what was the other thing I said? Oh, ship parts. Right. I didn't actually say that, but I kind of yada my way through it. But basically, if we wanted to buy weapons or extra armor or upgrades for the ship, there's a small vendor that attaches to the bay, and they'd start installing it, kind of thing. Oh, CB.
Okay, so that's all. Ooh.
All right, now that you've acquired a weapon, it kind of, again, it's like a vending machine. You see it fall, and it rolls out and pops out with 2 small little hands holding it up for you to pull. To please take your item.
Sweet.
So you pick it up, And shortly thereafter, the voice pops back up and looks at the two of you and goes, "Ah, be careful. Please don't attack anyone on the station with this. That would be terrible, especially the guy repairing the vent in the corner. That would hurt my feelings." And then it turns off. So, what do
It
you want to
it
do now?
it didn't kick out any extra credits when it said that.
No, it did not kick out any extra credits. Though it is a computer, you could talk and be like, hey, serious note. You trying to take care of him? I'll take care of him for one whole big gun or something. I don't know. However you want to talk to the robot. My character kind of giggles because it assumes it is just programmed humor. Because that's the thing, right?
Okay, is there anything else we need, or are we going to head back to the ship?
You can head back to the ship again. We came here for information on the enemy pirate ships.
Oh, so I guess we should go talk to those pilots then.
Okay. Do you want to talk to the people in the other loading bay or the pilot who was ferociously eating food in the food bay?
I guess let's go talk to the guy that's been out there.
Okay. So we head back into the. Hey, sorry, you're not paying attention to the phone. We head back to the food area, and he is still eating the large plate of food. The other person has moved on, and I'm just going to put him in there. Again, I won't move any of these character tokens around until you guys enter exit rooms, so they're kind of just there for funsies. But he's still eating. As you come up behind him, he seems to grab for something at his hip and turn. Oh, what wants?
Hey, just wanted to have a conversation.
He lowers his arm. Looks like he's looking at you for some reason, staring intently for a second. He looks confused and goes, sit down, I guess. I assume you sit down at the table around him?
Sure.
Okay. He says, oh, okay. How can I help? Again, I am translating automatically. He is speaking Vex, so if you don't speak Vex, you probably don't understand what he's saying.
See what language I speak. Common, Costas, Elven, Atikoke, and Yoski.
So you have no idea what he's actually saying. My character seems to be translating for you relatively easy. I ask him, hey, can we speak common? Our friend here doesn't speak Vex. And very broken, so it's going to sound even sillier than it did before. He'll reply, yes, I can speak like this. It's a little rough on the throat, but I'll do it. What do you need? I can tell one of you is a pilot. You don't look like one. As he stares off in your direction.
We're looking for some pirates that have. Well, they captured us and they were trying to sell us, but we got away. But they escaped us.
Huh, not very good pirates, I guess. At that note, you'll notice that Raj kind of tightens up on his leg, but relaxes and replies with, "Well, yeah, apparently we got away. So, do you have anything worth telling?" And he goes, "Well, the little fire spit out there is mine, but yeah, you can turn around every other asteroid and find a pirate ship. I've knocked down at least 3 or 4 in the last week since I've been out there scavenging for parts of my own. Sells pretty good when they got good weapons and things. Ironic that the pirates would be carrying good loot." Are you looking for anything specifically? Or just pirates in general?
Well, do we have a name? Do we have their name or their type?
Yes, so you guys will know that they are in a small light cruiser of Iderian design. And if I remember correctly, we called it the Slughorn, but I could be 100% wrong on that, so I'm going to go with it for now, and it's called the Slughorn. No, it was something else with an S. What was it? What was it Slughorn? Well, we're calling it the Slughorn now. He kind of looks back. He says, "The Slughorn. I don't think I've heard that name or seen that on the side of a ship. But you might have more luck talking to the cargo pilot. Find the other ship. He was saying something about a small freighter taking a run at his last convoy. Apparently, they didn't have any fighter escorts, so they were able to escape without any too much issue from the pirate ship. They just took a little damage."
Thank you. Should we get his name? Buy him an ale?
You could do all of the above. That's on you as a character. Do you want to pay for his meal, or buy him something to drink for sort of kind of information?
Oh, it was a steer. So
Okay.
I asked him if I could buy him an ale or buy him a
He,
drink.
he looks around and says, "Sure, why not? I'll take 10 credits and I'll go buy it in a little."
Okay.
He thanks you, and he collects your names and you collect his. You'll notice that he's part of the Sun Dragon crew, and his ship itself is the Firefly. They're a pirate hunting group that is also a scavenging crew.
Did he give us his name?
Yes. Oh, he should. We'll call him Thrak with a heavy throat. Like you're throwing a loogie.
Okay. Awesome. And I'm out 10 credits. What I hear?
Yep.
53.
No money for you. All right. So we go back into the central area.
And we're looking for the cargo pilot.
So back in the central area is where they grow the food and have the would-be vending machines. If you want to go out to the other docking area, you have to exit through the side door.
All right, let's do that.
You do so. You'll notice a small group of men loading and offloading, and there looks to be 3 of them. 2 humans, a Kadashian like you, and what looks to be an undead skeleton kind of in the corner, and they are all moving cargo from the ship and to the ship. They're kind of doing a little ant file line. Ooh, excuse me. Do you stop one of them to talk?
Do we see the captain, the pilot of that ship?
You could assume they are one of the 4 people, or maybe even all 4 of them, and they're just loading up the ship to take off. Again, they're loading it up with what looks to be piles of scrap on little carts and whatnot. I'll just have them represented there because they're consistently going back and forth.
Gotcha.
So, thoughts?
Um, I guess we go up to the one that looks like they're most in charge and start up a conversation.
Sure, do a sense motive check to see which one you think is the most in charge looking group member.
Did you say six-sided die?
No, sense motive.
I'm sorry, what?
A sense motive check.
Oh, sense motive check.
Yeah, you're gonna.
That's a whole.
You're gonna
That's
do
a whole.
a lot.
4.
4 total?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have no clue. The only person that's not sweating super hard while moving stuff is the skeleton looking dude, so maybe he's in charge.
All right, that's not much help at all. I guess we just walk up to the closest one and ask him, excuse me, can I speak to the captain?
Okay, well, the closest one to you is the four-armed Kalisha, just like you, so you guys can speak the same language. They go, well, captain's on board getting ready for taking off. How can I help?
Um, we are looking for some pirates of a light cruiser named Slughorn. We were wondering if you guys have run across them.
Slughorn. Well, I don't remember seeing that on the side of the ship, but we did get hit by a light cruiser on the way here a couple days ago. If you help us load the rest of this up, I can get you the coordinates of where that was at.
What do you think, Raj?
I ain't doing anything else right now. We're waiting on everything else to finish. That's probably done by now. Speaking of, cutscene to our friend, the Yoski. Him and the bug person are getting along swimmingly. They're not. You'll notice that he is being politely escorted into the would-be other office. Of course, we're in the other room at this point, so we have no idea. But, jumping back to you guys. This is going to be an athletics check to help move the stuff quickly. So,
oh, good. I'm good at athletics.
That being said, you can take a negative 5 penalty to your roll to double your speed.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. If you want to do that, tell me ahead of time. Otherwise, if not, I'm going to go first.
Yep. I will double my speed.
I will not, because I'm scared boy. Though it probably shouldn't have been. Total of 25. I'm good to go.
Okay, so I rolled 11. Take 5 off that is 6 plus 12 is 18.
18 is still successful. Congratulations. You move and groove fast. You put the other crewmates to shame. The skeleton's jaw literally drops off and he reattaches it. Mostly because you slammed into him on accident while you're moving things so quickly. He didn't seem to take too much offense to it. But instead of taking the next hour or two like they were expecting, you finish up within 30 minutes with my help and your help. And they're all loaded up and ready to go. They thank us as much as they can because you just gave them an extra half-hour break to do whatever the heck they want. The Kardashian honors her word and heads into the captain's room. A couple minutes later, she comes out with a small little disc that says, "Hey, this is our flight data for the last week," or a copied version of it. It notes in there where we were attacked at. My guessing is if they're pirates, they're probably not super far from there. She hands it over to you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Can you tell us anything about the armaments of the light cruiser? Or anything? Do they have anything special, or we should watch out for?
She looks around and says, "Well, I mean, they're pretty short-range stuff because they were trying to catch up to us the whole time. We just dropped some of our load and smashed into them, so they, got slowed down enough to where we could escape. It looks like whoever was piloting it, though, was pretty inexperienced or something, because they should have been able to avoid the junk we threw at them, and they did not."
Thank you. Safe travels.
Safe travels indeed.
Let's go find the rat and see what he's up to.
You do so. I'm going to load up these guys into their ship, and they're going to take off shortly. Oh no! Okay, there we go. We go back into the yard here, and these guys are gone. This dude is now working on another bit over here. You hear the machine that was over there earlier. "Stop touching my wires! I don't need to get fixed! Leave me alone! Help! 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 Help!" He seems unperturbed by the machine's yelling. Nor does anyone else come to its aid, so. Take that as you will. You go to the thing, zing. And you'll notice that in the couple hours it took you guys to get finished, that the ship that was here is taking off currently. It is. It's gone. Ignore the picture that's still there. There goes my hat one more time. Rars looks over at you and says, well, hopefully they didn't realize that, the remains of the other Spire Spray are parts of their friends. Also, as you were leaving the bay, you finally see the Vex man finish his food, put it in a dispenser, and starts walking off towards the ship. The other dude's over here just like chilling out a little thing. You'll notice that our ship bay is open. Our ship is still attached, but when you guys left, it was closed. And at that point, before we move on, sorry, I also just suggest that you offload your whatchamacallit, gel rings. Gel rings, that was the word I was looking for. And I'm going to add them to the actual ship list, so it's noted in there. Pencil, where are you?
All right. That's
Okay,
done.
you've dropped off your space rings and whatnot. They get into Yoski and the small bug whatever the heck they're called, the bug people, are not to be anywhere to be found.
Computer. They say where they were going.
They didn't say, but I could infer from the yelling and screaming that the Yoski was doing that he was being taken away to whoever runs his station. Apparently, among the junk, they found an ID card that was part of the central computer of a scavenging ship that they owned. And the Yoski was very not forthcoming in answering what it was about. Sheerans, by the way, Sheerans. That's the easiest way to say it.
I guess we need to strap up.
I would suggest so. By my calculations, the alarm should go off now. Boop, boop, boop. And a small announcement appears over the thing. It's said in common, so everyone can understand it. Hey, if you see those two other yahoos that came in on that ship, I need them to be brought to my office immediately. They're probably armed. Out. The computer looks very smug, and she smiles and says, I was right. Good job, me.
So should we disengage and threaten to wreak havoc on their little station, or what should we do?
Now the station itself didn't necessarily have weapons that we scanned, but we didn't actually scan for weapons. We just gave it the old look-see. So there could totally be big guns on this thing that we don't know about, which would be likely due to it being in the middle of an asteroid field, and they like to shoot the asteroids that come in and try to smash the base. Also, we do know that at least one of the two ships that are still here is well armed, and if he thinks that this station is the good guys and we're the bad guys, he might try to outgun us. And we're kind of his friends, so we don't want to take any chance flying in space at the moment. They do also have that other, what are they called? Spearheads? I'd have to look up the name of the ship, but they're Skyhopper? Skyhopper. I'm going to call them a Skyhopper. I think they were called Skyhoppers.
So you're thinking we need to go just go back onto the ship?
I'm thinking that's probably the easiest idea. If you want to go strapped, which I mean, to be fair, I think I was already strapped, but all my weapons are super small and hideable, so I wasn't really worried about it. I got 2 guns and a knife for the pew pew stabby stab combo. But yeah, I mean, guns blazing isn't a terrible choice. But maybe we don't start with guns drawn. You know, they might be friendly. This is again at a DM talking, so just me
Right.
yammering at you.
Yeah. Maybe we should give it a try. I guess.
Diplomatic first. Worst comes to worst, we blow up the station afterwards. It's not like it wouldn't be that hard to get to the engine room and turn some things off and have this thing crash into an asteroid.
Right.
Okay, so we go out, and almost immediately the engineer that was over here is right here, and as we pop out, he's got a small, what looks to be shotgun, or scatter gun as it's called in this setting. He says, "Stop right there." He's a human, by the way. Raj turns and looks and goes, "Huh. Well, I'm not moving. Are you?" RJ.
No, I'm not moving.
Okay. He goes, all right. I'm gonna unlock the door over here, and we're just gonna walk straight into the boss's office. Don't try anything funny, or I'll pull the trigger. Understood? He kind of weakly walks around us, pointing, one-handed, kind of not really paying attention as he's walking towards the door. Do you do anything then, or you just let things happen?
Um, he's walking towards the door like to block it or to.
No, he's unlocking it because if you remember, we tried to go up it earlier and it was locked. Apparently, it leads directly into the boss's room.
So let's ask him a question. Say, what's going on here? What's the problem?
Because apparently your little Yosuke guy isn't answering questions or something. I don't know. I'm not the foreman, nor am I the guy that inspected your ship. They just put on the announcement. I'm sure you heard it. You couldn't have not heard it. That we're to bring you in.
That doesn't sound very friendly.
Yeah, well, this is Deforia there, guy. Most people aren't friendly. You have one more chance to make any interaction, otherwise he's going to input the code to unlock the door. You hear another beep. Yellow alert. Dangerous personnel on base. All non-base personnel, please exit the base or come to the central waiting room.
So the door didn't open, is what you're saying?
No. Sorry, that was just an announcement as he's clicking the buttons. The door is unlocked and opened, and on the inside you see our little friend. Here, I'll move us over here so we're more in line. Our little friend, what looks to be a short, muscular Lesh Hata, is what I'm going to call them. But they are humanoid-esque creatures that have little antennae. They're kind of psychic. This one's the short and stout version. And next to him is the Sheeran that we saw earlier.
Okay.
And our friend is tied up and what looks to be a unnecessary amount of shackles. He's got one on each foot, or I should say, one across his feet, one across his hands, and then one of those tying his hands and feet together.
So I'm trying to decide at what point do we go to a little more threatening attitude.
You'll notice that your android friend basically has his hands at his hip. They're not above him in the I surrender pose anymore. He hasn't fired anything, but he looks definitely way more aggressive. The Shirian has what looks to be a long rifle of some sort, and the dude behind the desk has a. What's the best way to describe this? What's the weapon you have? The flame dash? Same exact weapon.
I'm sorry, say that. Oh, the flame dosha.
Yeah.
So basically, it looks like they're bringing melee to the game.
I mean, the Shirian has some kind of short assault rifle. Heck, it might even be our Yoski's machine gun. So what do you say? What do you do? What's going on? What's the play?
I'm trying to decide if I want to unlimber my flame thing or if I want to unlimber my pulse cannon.
They are both two-handed weapons. Luckily for you, you have four hands.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that till just now. You are the perfect heavy-duty carrier. Just, I just slap things and they die.
So I'm gonna ask what the problem is. I'm just gonna what's going on. What is the problem?
He goes, well, your friend here won't give us the details on how he acquired a bit of our computer brain that we sent out on a scavenger ship recently. Excuse me, sorry. What's the best way to... He isn't being forthcoming with the information we need, to say the least. And it seems very suspicious that he would do such a thing. So I'm going to ask you, as his would-be friends, or at least traveling mates, what happened to my ship?
Well, I think generally just his species seems that way no matter what they're doing. We obviously salvaged stuff, and that was amongst the salvage. I mean, when you guys run across a ship debris field, do you stop and pick stuff up yourself? I don't understand what the big deal is here.
He shakes his head. Well, that makes way more sense than what he said.
Again, I think his species probably has a slight, how shall we say, leaning towards the deception when there's no need.
Alright, fine. Well, I was going to have you all arrested by local authorities as pirates.
We're
But,
hunting pirates. We're hunting pirates. They're not pirates.
another pirate hunter crew, apparently. That's a likely story. Look, how about this? Instead of us paying you any extra credits for wasting my time and whatnot, and my crew's time, we'll just take the scrap you took here and let you go on your way.
You're going to rob us. Who's the pirates now?
Well, that's the advantage of having a space station. We do get to make the rules most of the time.
You get to make your reputation too.
That's a fair point.
I mean, we don't know the size of the group of people that were hit. We can just know what the debris that was left.
A likely story.
Is this gate open too?
Sorry, I'm looking for something here. So he goes. Sorry, I'm trying to find an archetype for something. I'm not having any luck.
Okay, so now I'm driving down to the wonderful south end. 265, 299, 298. 299, 298 my first one, and then 265, 261. I'll turn around at 259. Awesome. Yay, 100 miles away.
That's a long time, sir. Photo. Okay, well, I'm just gonna wing it because that's what I get for not pre-looking up these stats beforehand. So, yeah, he's basically gonna rob you to let you get away, or you could get violent and see what that does for you.
I'm sorry, say that again, Ron.
You have two choices here as a. I'm sorry, let me throw my hat here. You have two choices here as a player. You can either get violent, take what's rightly yours, save your friend and move on, or you can just take your friend and walk out of here with whatever they've resupplied your ship with. Though you're pretty sure that the weapon the Syrian is holding is your buddy's. So you'd be losing some equipment at a minimum. You have gained probably the information you need for whatever you want to do next. But maybe there might be more on the space station to find out. Who knows? Who knows but the DM? And the DM has no idea. Blah, blah, blah. Just kidding.
So I guess that's the deal we're going to be offered. That's the deal we're going to take. Can you release our friend and give him his stuff back?
He looks over and goes, "Ah, well, that's way more reasonable than I was expecting." He puts his dashi down and undoes the restraints on our Yoski, and the Yoski is quietly just like praying to himself, right? Because he's a priest. And as soon as he gets up, he snatches the weapon out of the Shirin's hand and scuttles over to the two of us. And we kind of just back our way into our ship. And as soon as we're inside the ship, the air tube is pulled in, our ship seals up, and we are detached from the base. What do you want to do now? I'll go back over because you guys are doing anything crazy with that. 4 billion. Is this distracting? Because it should be. Haha! Wizard hat. And I'm going to leave this as a giant screen if that's right now. Just kidding. I'm not going to do that. That would be silly. Oh no, don't hide members. I want to see everyone. There we are. Okay, I'm back to being only half a screen now. I'm going to clean off this thing. So, you do have an information disk that you could upload to your computer that not only gives you the planned route or regular route of the ship, but also the location which they were attacked in.
So do we want to follow the same route, or do we want to follow an intersecting route?
That is a wonderful question. So, as your pilot, I would say, and someone who's dealt with their stuff, that depending on who they have piloting right now, they're probably just parked behind an asteroid at a certain location and just swing around wide to get their shots. And if they take something out, cool beans. Otherwise, they just hide back behind the asteroid. Is my assumption.
That would make sense.
Sorry, I'm now finding an appropriate tiered ship for you guys to deal with. I don't know if you guys could shoot through that yet. Let me find a more appropriate tiered ship then. There's not a lot of tier 4 ships in the ship manual. Let's put that. That would probably be way more appropriate. What about this bad boy? It's electric, that's what would make sense. Okay.
Hmm. 340.
Sorry.
I need to type somebody a note anyway, so I'll be right back. You got time?
Okay, I found the appropriate thing. I just don't think we're a high enough level to deal with it yet. And since you're not killing everyone in the base here, there might be a small problem.
Oh, somebody's finally got to work.
Also, the name of the ship that we were fighting before is a Sky Fisher.
Mm.
Small shuttle, really? I guess we could do this one because it's also Nigerian. But it's a tier 7. Oh, that one just looks way more like a pirate ship. Anyway, it's still above your guys' tier, but I at least described it correctly. Yeah, so this is Raj speaking as you guys are kind of flying off towards where this thing should be. I'm going to tell you, I'm not super confident in this vessel being able to take the next ship. We do have probably the appropriate weapons to fight it off, but, they look in one of our hangar bays and say, but they aren't installed, and we're going to need some extra stuff to install it. And whatnot. Yeah, torpedo launcher and the guns are good, but we got to get relatively close to use that. If I haven't mentioned, or if you don't remember, sitting in our cargo bay currently is a heavy laser cannon. Yeah, because you guys installed the light particle beam. Yeah, so that's the only weapon that is not installed currently. You also have room for, I believe, 2 more weapons. if I remember correctly. That's how I built it. There's space for 2 more weapons, though we're not currently using them all. If we go back to how to build a starship on here and check the thing real quick. Starships, set settings, game mastering. Just performance. Okay. Okay, so we are flying currently a medium transport or light transport. One, two. Yeah, so we are in a transport currently. So forward, 1 heavy, 1 light. After arc, 1 and 2 turrets. So I take that back. The only slot we have left open is the 1 heavy forward mount.
Okay, so that's where we want to put that, huh?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we just don't have the quote-unquote battle points to have it installed currently. Our ship has to be a tier 4 to be completely decked out with that. And when we get 4, we can also have some other stuff installed via whatever, right? Salvaging parts and things like that. But I do not believe we could take on a tier 6 as we are right now. Just because of how much shielding they have on the ship that I'm looking at.
Okay. So
And
we need to get a couple fighters. Is what you're thinking?
we either need friends or we need to be able to install the bigger guns. I mean, and or we wait a while and come back with a completely different ship. Not that this ship is not sentimental, but it might be worth coming back later. And if they move on from now, maybe we'll be able to find them again later. But I do not think we're ready. If we jump the guns now, we're going to get blown out of the water. Especially because we're missing a captain, I say smirkingly. The hologram pops up and says, I could be the captain instead of the rat man, because apparently he gets us in trouble. The other thing we could do, and this is again in character, is we could go back to that station and take it over. It obviously has some automated stuff, but it would have plenty of room for us to dock our ship and whatnot. It has supplies, food, all that fun stuff, and we could run it as a base of operations from there for a while until we're ready to move on.
I just don't think there's enough of us to capture the station and then run it.
That's fair. So maybe we focus on getting some friends first. We met the whatchamacallit dude. He said he was part of a pirate hunting crew. Didn't say how big it was. It could just be like 3 dudes, but 3 dudes is better than what we got right now. Well,
Correct.
because we got 2.5 and a tenth. I don't know how big she is. We might also see if we can catch up with the transport vessel and see if they need an armed escort for a while, because they said they weren't flying with one.
Yeah, we can give that a try. I mean, that seems pretty logical.
I do the logics most of the time. But yeah, I mean, we gotta establish ourselves somewhere before we can take on these pirates. Or hear me out, We sneak onto the other ship, kill all the pirates while they're sleeping, and then we have a nice new ship. Though piloting it might be, fun. I like how this says it's a small shuttle, but I have no idea how it has all the stuff it has on it. Like, comparing the type to other types, like, how? Why? Anyway, so that's kind of our thing. We could also just travel among the dysphoria to see if we can find other stuff, or we could leave the dysphoria completely, we do have a drift drive and head somewhere else uh, to try and recruit slash find people or whatever. We do not have to stay here in the asteroid field.
Well, I think that the ship's already fought off the other one once, so maybe
So
flying
to
as
be
their escort might actually, work.
so they did not fight them off. They ran away. They dropped
Right,
some.
but
I'm listening.
yeah. So I mean, that's what I mean, though. They got away. They've already the pirate ship's gonna recognize their engine pattern and know who they are and think that they're just gonna dump crap at them. And this time they'll probably be able to avoid it. And then all of a sudden we show up with it. You know what I mean? We might be able to get close enough to do some damage, or just make him think twice. And then that ship goes back and says, "Yeah, those guys helped us defeat a pirate," and all of a sudden they're going to feel bad about stealing our shit.
Mm.
And then if we go back looking for friends to go hunt pirates, we're going to have a lot more credibility.
That's not a terrible idea. As you mentioned, the them stealing their stuff though, the Yoski pops up from his silent prayer and goes, "Yeah, they stole like 700 credits worth of stuff from us. I know it's not a lot, but come on now, this is ridiculous. I mean, that was 700 after the slate fuel charge and all that other stuff, but still." Also, credit scrapping doesn't pay very well, apparently. It might have paid more, but then they got to the computer brain, which was probably the most expensive thing on our scrap list, and they got mad at me, and I freaked out. I'm sorry. I'm glad you guys didn't kill anyone yet, though. And got my gun back. Thanks. As he grabs his rifle and goes off to his would-be quarters. So you want to go uh, try and find the transport people. They're probably not too far off, and we know their plotted course, so it won't be super hard to get to them. I think if this is in character opinion, not DM telling you anything. I think it would be safer or more cohesive, or whatever you want to call it, if we joined up with the what were they called? Flame dragons or something, right?
Okay.
The anti-pirate hunting crew. I mean, they could. Again, they might have a better ship than this hunk of junk that we threw together. They might have missions for us besides just don't get shot as we fly around.
Okay.
Or whatever. You know what I mean? As someone who's dealt with anti-pirate hunting yahoos, they're usually pretty organized, even if they're small groups. If we join up with the other guys, we might make more money, as you know what I mean, as we get a percentage of their haul or whatever. But if we join the other one, we get to be pirates of pirates, right? Is how the guy described it.
Right.
It sounded pretty lucrative to me, and I'm all about the money. But the other one, I mean, we get to make sure that the transports that are getting attacked don't necessarily get attacked. And we might run into other ships that aren't the ones we're looking for and, goof up some other pirates. I don't know.
Well, I mean, going with other pirate hunters is a little safer than going alone.
It's true.
But I mean, but again, credibility is kind of one of the things you got to build.
Right. So, yeah, you're 100% correct. We'd be taking a gambit either way. I know what my opinion is. And Yoski, on the other hand, is, look, whatever keeps us the safest is what I'd rather do. And so, I put on my DM hat as we have contemplated all the choices. You sound like you are pretty solid into finding the scraps transport and hooking up with them, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it seems like because we know they're already underway. We don't know what the other ones are doing. We don't know where they're at. We know where one of their ships is at.
Okay. Yeah, and you know their names, and he knows you, so you'd have an introduction at least. Sort of, kind of. So you guys take off and fly over the spaceport. As you're flying over, you will see a large cannon pop out the top and fire right over your shoulder, hitting a small asteroid coming towards the base. I should say shoulder, but edge of your guys' ship. That asteroid was obviously not really coming towards them. They were just, shooting at you for fun. Kind of the get out of here, you crazy kids kind of thing. But I'm going to make a roll for piloting to see if I can find us a appropriate route for getting to the ship. Good thing I have good piloting, because that was a trash tier roll. 14 plus 7, 21. Whew, sorry. Yeah, I make it. With the extra bonusy stuff that we get from you guys having their known coordinates, we catch up to them within an hour or so. As we approach from the rear, they speed up as fast as their ship can go. Luckily for us, their ship is quite a bit slower than ours, so we catch up relatively easily. As we get within would-be firing range, or would-be censoring range, so 9 whole squares, we receive a comms that say, hey, not here to fight. How can we help? Our Yoski friend goes, ha! Well, we have a business proposition for you. And they go, okay. Do you want us to stop, or should we keep flying? The Yoski looks at him and says, keep flying? Keep flying. We'll just fly next to him. And now I will make a piloting check to see if I can keep speed with these guys, because it's basically a chase. I do! By a lot. I fly next to him so we can have stable, calm communications that we don't have to worry about it cutting off in the middle of. The Yoski is the one talking at this point. But as you interpose as they interpose, whatever. They talk about what they want to talk about for us defending them on their supply run. And they say, well, we're taking this to a scrapyard, and then the next crew's taking over. So you'd be flying with a different crew, and we'd have to get approval from the boss to hire you, because you'd be basically extra crew from whatever ship's going out next, and that'll affect the entire crew's profit, and they have to agree to do it. But I'm sure as long as you take reasonable cuts, they'd be happy to have you along. And our fee for traveling with us until we get to our destination is just going to be keeping us safe. How's that sound?
Okay.
Okay, you guys do so. They tell you they don't really expect anything crazy to happen while they're flying, but because the DM likes to have his fun, we're gonna see what we can do about that. See if we can change things, make a difference, cry about it, whatever. I don't know why I'm flipping through the map here, but it makes me feel good, so we're gonna do it. If I haven't mentioned before, these little map books are super duper cool, and are definitely worth what they cost. Well, I should say they're worth what I paid for them. That's not what they cost anymore, unfortunately, for everyone else. Alright, so, OT 40. So, 40 even. You guys make the travel with these guys super uneventful. Nothing crazy happens. Again, this is a relatively safe route, which was so surprising when they got hit by a random pirate ship along the way. It's literally a 3-stop journey. They fly out, stop at the station that you guys were at for supply, refuel, all that fun stuff. A couple days of flying. They fly a couple more days, get to their other scrap dealer, and then they go to a third scrap dealer, and then by then they're generally full, and then they fly back. Sorry, let me re-explain. They will fly all the way there, and then there's a scrapyard at the far end of the asteroid belt, and then on the way back they do the same thing. So they are basically the middlemen of the trashmen of the asteroid belts. Though there are plenty of operations like theirs that are strung on through Dysphoria, and even stuff that don't use ships. I mean, there's just manned people out there mining and selling things and getting scrap where they can, just in spacesuits. So scrapping is a pretty profitable business out here, allegedly. Asteroids do have a large tendency to goof up large ships if they're not being careful. And if a large ship gets hit, that's a good bit of cash. No, mostly they salvage small and medium-sized ships. There's also plenty of would-be military operations out here attached to mining colonies. And that's why there's so much transport and movement anyways, because the mining colonies are constantly offloading supplies and material. Which is why it is so populated or perverse with pirates. Because everyone in the mining companies is basically their own city-state that, make plenty of money and support plenty of people. So, that being thought about, /said, I need to get back to Twitch. What are you guys' thoughts? What's going on now? Flying. You've arrived at the trash collecting refinery, basically, is what it is, where they just, sort the stuff and burn what they can and whatnot. I'm not going to put you guys on a map because the area which you are dealing with is too big, and I do not expect you to get into a fight here. Please don't get into a fight here, you will die. What would you like to do?
So do we need to go talk to somebody?
Like I said, when you guys get to the port or whatever, you'll pay your would-be docking fees, and then the crew of the ship that you're on currently will take you to their supplier, boss, foreman, whatever they want to call it, and he'll introduce you to the next crew that's being sent out, and then you guys will be again assigned to their crew as like extra personnel for a split of the profits. So how it works here is foreman gets 50% of the load every single time whenever you go from one side to the other, because there's the company that they're working through as C foreman. They get 50% of the load for A, owning the ship, and B, putting the crews together. And then the other 50% is divided amongst the crew. Usually the crews range from 3 to 5 people, so you're looking at 10% apiece. You guys are adding 3 extra people to your crew, and trying to negotiate with the, however many people are on the next cruise ship, for a slice of the pie. So, do you want me to yada yada that so you guys get to the point where you're negotiating, or do you want to look around the town, basically?
So let's just do that. Keep on task.
Okay, so you yada yada your way to the negotiations, and the next crew has a whopping 3 people in it, so it's a smaller crew than the crew you're on. And you guys are offering, hey, we'll fly protection, because there was a pirate ship on the last route, and we're pretty sure they're just going to be lazily attacking there for a while, and we want to make sure that you guys are safe, yada yada. Do you have any special guarantees, packages, / needs, desires to be met for your part of the contract?
I don't think so.
Okay, so you're not asking for anything special, which is good. Now, how much of a cut are you expecting? Again, these guys are working with 50% of the total profits. They're dividing 3 ways. If they add you guys in, basically they're all cutting their stuff in half or something along those lines. So how much of a percentage are you guys trying to snag? Or are you going to try and talk the foreman out of some of his percentage because you're keeping his ship safe?
So, like, what do we do? Like a 1.5 share from them and 1.5 share from the foreman?
I mean, you could
That'll give
try.
us share. Yeah.
Uh, so you're gonna try to weasel 15% out of both parties.
Right.
Okay. So that would drop Foreman's share to 35 and drop their share to basically they're getting 11% of the profits each or so. Yeah. No, I don't think so. Ceci? Nope. Uh-oh. What's that? Uh-oh. Lost dog. Yeah, lost dog. Yeah, no idea. Anyway. So yeah, let's try it. Let's see what you can do. Who's gonna do the talkie diplomacy? The android volunteers to not do that. That is a extreme weakness for him. He does not deal with people well. So that leaves you and the Yoski. And the Yoski has not so great diplomacy either because his stats are not so great.
I need to pull over and read my character sheet. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I need a minute.
Because could also try to bluff our value as a charisma check, but I get a -2 when I'm dealing with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, just give me a second. I need to find a pullover run.
Okay.
I can't pull over here because it's really curvy.
Yeah, don't do that. Drive safe. Well, whatever it is, my character, or we'll say both of our characters are going to give you an assist, so you're going to get an extra +2 as we throw in our yada yada. We'll help you because I assume your diplomacy is better than mine. Excuse me.
312. 313 is there, so 312 should be a good one. Let my people get off the freeway. There we go.
That's fine.
Nice white spot right here.
Right there.
Ta-da. Okay. And a nice straight away to get back on and off. Okay.
Hey.
So diplomacy, I got a 0 basically.
Ah, okay. Well, it's based on charisma, which means Aryoski actually I think has the highest with a 3.
And so if we both help him, he'll have a 5.
He'll have a 5, which is better than anything. This is the disadvantage of not having our idol with us because she had like a 12 in this.
Yeah.
Let's come back. Hey, 15 plus 5 though. That'll succeed on the captain's half as we talk to the crew. 11. Oh, hey, come back here. 11 plus 5 is going to give us a whopping total of 16. Let me see. Difficulty plus 10. That's going to fail. So the crew is not willing to accept a 15% cut. We could try a different check, but if we fail it again, we won't be able to propose that number anymore. So, is there any other checks you would like to try? And it can only be one person. They cannot have assistance.
I mean, most of my stuff's I'll crack him in the head or technical stuff. Not very good.
Do you have Intimidate?
Oh crap! You let me get back on the road before you ask me that question.
You fool! I mean, you have a charisma 0, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember putting any points into Intimidation?
Seems like something I would do.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Ta-da! Yeah. Oh, I did put it, but it just gets me to 0.
Okay, so I just realized it's a -2 to sense motive checks. So they take a negative. Interesting. Okay, so I have a 6 in intimidation. If you would like to, for me to give it a shot, if you think that's more than you.
It's totally more than me.
Okay,
Yeah.
then
Yeah. Give it a shot. What the heck?
give it a shot. Yeah, I only put 1 rank into it, but it's one of my class skills, and I have operator's advantage, which gives me pluses. I rolled a 5, total of 11. Oh, so as I try to be intimidating, one of them pops off. Shut up, android! We don't need to hear no junk from you. We know how much our crew's worth. You better give us a better offer, or there's no way we're letting you fly with us. So, we must pick a different number to try to scooch out of them. Look, I say if we add an extra incentive and drop our thing to 5%, that might be worth it. Like any wreckage that we personally cause goes to us instead of them.
Okay.
And or they pay us half price on any salvage that we get, kind of thing. Like if we take down a ship and they salvage it, you know, we go from there. Now, to be fair, that's not what this ship is for. It's not for collecting salvage. It is for literally just transporting it.
Uh huh.
So that even if we do take something down, it will only be able to salvage like small ships. Would you like me to attempt that roll?
Yes.
Okay. So the DC is decreased slightly because of how low the percentage we're asking from them is, but then is increased slightly uh, to offset our negotiation, yada yada. If we shoot a ship, we get the scrap for it, basically. Much better roll. If the Yoski's talking here, 14 plus 2 from us plus his 3, so a total of 19, which is going to be enough to pass this check. Burley. As they do their talking and commencing, Yoski comes back a second later and says, alright, they're only giving us 5%, so we're only getting a 20% total from what they pick up, which, we're looking at 1,000 credits at the max, and that's if they find something good. And if we happen to scrap into ships for them, they're willing to give us at least half of what it's worth, basically. Not to be accounted against our total for the share. It'll be a kind of under the table between us and the crew kind of thing. Is at least how they explained it to me. I assume you guys are okay with that?
Sure. Why would we be okay?
Yeah. He also hands over a small disc and says, "This is the route they're going to take. It's different, I think, than the other route the other crew took. Apparently, they stop at different stations than each other. So we will not. Well, you'll see. We'll see what's up. There again. I don't know anything about dysphoria, so I have no idea what this means." He hands it over to my character. My character pops it open and plugs it into our nav computer once we get back into our ship, and goes, "Well, here's the last one," and I put an overlay of the ship course that we just followed, "and here's the one we're going on." And instead of like this straight calm line through a non-risky area, this crew is hitting 4 stops, and the last 2 stops are the same as the first crew, but the first 2 go like a jagged left and a jagged right, and then they cross all the way through the center of the asteroid field, and it does not touch the station we went to before or the other the piratey location. Um, so following this crew is fine, but it's definitely not going to get us where we wanted to go either way. Except for we get to avoid that last station that we caused havoc at, so that's nice, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to roll a piloting check to see if I can keep up with these guys. Surprise, surprise, got it. Alright, and now let's do some encounter rolls. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so we make it about halfway to the first station, a couple days into our travel, before something occurs. What is that something? Let's find out. Oh, okay. So
it's small moon. That's not a small moon. That's a space station.
No, nothing that serious. But small moon, also known as an asteroid, smashes into our transport ship as we were flying. Not us specifically, but the transport ship is hit. Their shields deflect most of it, but they lose a container. They ask us to take our ship and see if we can find it. Would you like to do that, or do you say F them, we're just here to keep you safe?
I'll see if we can find it.
Okay, so you guys someone's going to hop on the scanners, which is the life science position on your ship, and you're going to do some scans as we travel around. So we get to Starship stuff really quick. Corrections, here we are. So, Captain's Phase, Engineer Actions, Science Officer Actions, here we are. So the scan action is what you're going to be doing to see if you can find this piece of missing cargo. Does anyone want to do this, or do you want me to just have the robot do the scans?
Well, I up my engineering stuff, so let me get pulled over here. I got 4/10 of a mile, and I got a rest area I can pull in.
Okay, I'll just read this off really quick. So, to scan a starship with your sensors and learn information about it, this action requires your starship to have sensors, blah 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 blah. You must attempt a computer's check applying modifiers from the ship's sensors, which the sensors we have on our handy-dandy ship are trashed here. No, just kidding. They actually are trashed here. Their budget's long range, so they actually give you a -1 to your rolls. But they do have long range, which is 9 hexes, which is nice. Let's see. And then the DC for the check is 5, plus the tier of the starship being scanned, plus its bonus from the sensors the countermeasure, blah blah blah. You learn the first unknown piece of information following for every 5 EXE. Okay, so yeah, I'm not even going to show you on the board as we're doing this. But if you're doing the scans, we have so many locations. We're going to check 2 locations that this thing could probably be. Wow, that was a really good roll. I pilot to the first one safely. No damage from asteroids as I navigate through the small field. It's now time to scan. Scan away. Excuse me.
Okay, so computers?
Computers, yes.
$17.
17 total?
Yep.
Okay, as you scan the area, it looks to be devoid of life, surprise, surprise. But there's no beacons or anything like that to indicate that the cargo container is here. So I fly on to the next area, roll a 17 plus pluses, make another scan.
Natural 20.
Alright, yeah, real easy. So as you're scanning, there it is, right in front of that asteroid. And since you rolled a natural 20, you'll also notice that not too far from the cargo bay looks to be a easily mined vent of materials that you could probably pick up.
Hey, let's see if we can pick those up.
Okay, so after you dock the materials to your ship, you fire one of your weapons. What would you like to shoot? Anyway, let me write about 2.5 hours. All right. Anyway, you're on 18 plus pluses. You're able to shoot some of that. Go ahead and give me a percentile roll to see how much of this material you are able to pick up.
Roger, you have to roll percentile for me. I don't have it.
Okay, gotcha. I can do it. Wow. So apparently using the light laser cannons was the worst decision. We did not knock very much off of this thing. It's a good hit, but in all honesty, unless we want to stay here for an extended period of time, this stuff is in there super, super well. We only get, I'll round up to 5% of the material off that we want, which is, not ideal. It's basically unworth our time to even pick it up off the floating around. I mean, most of it just molted scag from us shooting the rock. So, good try, not so good. We continue on. Where was I? Yeah, you guys return the cargo ship. Congratulations. They thank you, and we move on. So, next percentile roll for what happens next. You guys make it a good bit of the way forward. Again, you're looking at, let's see. Yeah, you're not quite at the first station before the next thing occurs.
Oh.
Okay. But on this note, it's a good thing that occurs. As you guys are piloting along, they tell you to brace for some heavy tier asteroid stuff that they were flying through to save some time. But as you enter the area, there's no asteroid storm to be seen. Either they missed it or something's wrong with their scanners, something like that, and they do not. Nothing terrible occurs.
All right, all right, all right, all right.
So, moving on. Unless I roll in the odds, you guys will definitely make it to the station. Yep. Okay. So you guys make it to the station, easy peasy. At this point, first way through, just knock your stuff off. The station is very similar to the one that you guys were on before. You have a chance to offload. It's been 4 days of flying. It's been 4 days of flying if you want to get out and about. Obviously, you made no money at this point, so you haven't done anything too special. You could try to talk to the people on the thing. You could land and help offload/reload the ship with scrap. All that fun stuff. That's all you want to do. You are not required to help them whatsoever. But the faster the stuff gets loaded, the faster you guys get off. And or you just go around on the ship and have some leisure time. That is on you guys as a crew. What do you guys think? Or do you want to just fly protection around the base just to, feel good about yourselves?
So let's go see if there's anybody on board.
Okay. As you fly towards the station, the other ship gives their docking codes or whatever. You have to send in a special request to land, though, and just explain that you're the escort for the ship here. And they give you permission. There's an open slot for you. You can even land in the crew bay on the far side if you would like. There's no ships currently docked in their bay. Would you like to do that, or would you like to be externally attached? You are breaking up super bad, so I'm going to assume you say there's no problem with that, and we land just to avoid some talkie-talkie. You guys land on the ship, or in the ship. As you fly around, you'll notice that there is one other ship currently docked. It looks like one of those trash collecting ships that you destroyed before. You guys land, dock, no issues, no problems. They say if you're with the other crew, they'll just add your fuel tax to their cost or whatever. Uh,
That has information about the pirates.
mm,
Hello,
okay, so
Rod.
there you are.
Hello. Hey, you're breaking
Hello.
up. I can't hear you. Do we have a chance to go talk to the pilot of that little fighter? Hello.
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 Hello. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine now.
Okay. So do we have a chance to go?
So, if you remember that the other ship that's docked is a completely robot controlled ship, it doesn't actually have a pilot.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Um,
So
but but
once we see
like
there's nobody to talk.
but this is a station like the last one that does have personnel that are running it. You can check and talk with them if you would like, or again, you can kind of just relax for a little bit, get some food out of there. Would be cafe, and then head on your way, and or help your other crew load up faster.
Yeah, I think we should go help them load faster.
Okay, just like before, it's an athletics check.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me get back to the back to the boat, back to my shit car. Oh,
Yeah, I don't know where you're walking before, but you broke up super bad. Could not hear anything you were trying to say.
yeah. I walked into the rest area and it has Wi-Fi, but it just totally blocked the signal.
Hmm.
I
Weird.
can hear you. I can hear you, but you couldn't hear me.
That's that's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, taking a -5 to double my speed, I roll a whopping 18 minus 5, so 13 plus 8, so 21 for me.
Okay. And my beautiful hind end will roll. Da, 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 da. $16 minus 5 is 11, plus 12 is 23.
23, yeah, me and you both, Speedy Gonzalez, our way through this. Again, moving and grooving much faster than the crew itself can because the captain stays on the thing while they're unloading. So the two yahoos that were there are like, hey, you've definitely gained some respect amongst the two of them for helping because you turned their 2 hours worth of work into an hour's worth of work. They finish loading up, they thank you, and when you get on your ship and you guys all take off to the next thing. Now, this is the long journey across basically the entire asteroid field, so it is dangerous because it is so exposed, slash you're flying through debris, all that fun stuff. Okay, you guys make it a good bit before anything happens. And it's not good. So, as you guys are flying along, oh, excuse me, you come across. Oh, you know what I forgot to grab again? Was those, was my ships from the X-Wing stuff. I'll have to get that next time. Because I forget, someone remind me every time I get this set up. Yeah, if I do this right the first time, I forget. There you go. Okay. So, we get our large shippity ships. The horses are your guys' buddies. Uh, yeah.
That's not what I want. That's all. Okay. Are you there, Raj?
Yep, yep.
Okay.
So I'm actually gonna throw. Because they're just dealing with two ships. Ignore this one. This one's out the way. But they look to be Iderian Caresses, which is a pretty well-known fighter. They're well-armed. They're combat fighters. They're sleek in design. These have obviously ill intentions towards you guys as a group. Our shippity ship is a medium transport, so we are actually going to use the dragon this time because the size wise between these guys, they are tiny and we are medium. That's us. That's our large transport. Those are tiny fighters.
Gotcha.
Actually, I don't know if I want to do that just for convenience. Because in all honesty, the medium ones just take up a single square. So we're going to use your character token. You want to use your character token? As us, and we're flying 2 hexes away from our friends. We're going to set these guys over here, flying in formation. But we spot them, and there's pretty much no getting around them and keeping on the route we're supposed to be keeping on. Before I forget, let me enlarge the screen so it takes the whole thing. Okay, so where were we? Pew pews, initiatives. This is all DM rolling for now because you got me as the pilot. What seat are you taking? What are you doing? Slash, where's the other stuff going?
Okay, so what's the best use of my engineering?
So putting you as engineer would probably be the best use of your thing. I can have the AI be our science officer and or our captain, and we can have Riley's character do the pew-pewing because his dex is okay. His piloting isn't terrible. But yeah, our would-be computer has a whopping +2 to any of the things she rolls. So yeah, engineering will be good for you unless you want to do the and or do you want to do the rolls for the other characters? Either one of them. Just so I'm not rolling 4 billion rolls on the ship and doing the piloting.
Yeah. And I can roll. Like I said, I'll do the engineering, and then we can do the roll.
Okay, so I'll let you do the rolls for both the robot for doing the scans and simulating the Yoski's gunning. I believe he has a 6 for his piloting skill, so he'll use that instead of his base attack modifier.
Okay.
And then he has a, I don't know what's his plus to dex is. I want to say it's like a +2 or +3. He has okay armor. We'll say +2 just because I don't remember. So he has an 8 plus his d20, and then if we have any extra bonuses from the computer stuff, which I will have pulled out and ready to go. Bam. Okay, so first things up is the engineer's actions. That's you can divert, hold it together, patch, quick fix, and overpower.
So should we ramp?
Oh,
Should we ramp up? Oh,
I take that back. So, do you have 6 ranks in engineering?
I have like 8.
Oh, really? Wow, you put a lot into it. So, yes, you can do this now. If you have at least 6 ranks in engineering, you can spend 1 resolve point and attempt an engineering check to sequence out more than your ship's systems. If you're successful, the function diverted action. This function divert action, but you can spend extra power to any of 3 systems listed in that action. This action and divert action cannot be taken in the same round. So if we go back to the divert, that's where you get to pick where your powers go. So basically, if you do the push one, you're doing multiple systems, whereas if you just do the divert, it's a single system. But you do have to spend a resolve point to do the one that affects 3.
Okay, we'll do that.
The superpower one that affects 3 systems.
Yes.
Okay, make your roll.
$19.
Oh yeah. Suspend your resolve point, and you get to pick 3 systems.
It's like, let's go shields
Okay.
and the weapons. Shields and the weapons, right?
Okay, so with the shields, that restores their things, and we haven't been shot yet.
Oh, we can't overpower, make them buffier.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so 3 types of weapons, or I mean,
Nope, it's just all weapons get a instead of if they roll a 1, they instead roll a 2. You can make sure all science officers get a +2 to their crew actions. You can repair shields, and you can increase our speed by 2.
I guess increase our speed by 2.
Okay, so
Weapons science, weapons science and engines.
okay, so you burst everything on the first bit, which is good. Next up is the science officer action. And we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-ish away. So we can fire torpedoes, but we can't scan them because we need to be within 9. You're going to be a science officer. You got to be serious about it. So I might suggest that you hold instead of doing the overpower thing, because our current science officer, which is the computer, um, can't really do anything super helpful from where we're at right now. And I don't necessarily need the extra boost in speed. So if you just instead divert, that would be a better choice. And that would still give the upgrade to the guns. And save
Okay,
you a point for
resolve
the...
point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's us. Since we go first, next is the...
Do we want to move closer, or?
Well, so that's a different round. So remember, the space combat does 3 things, where it's you engineer round, everyone does their stuff, and then your piloting round, and everyone does their stuff, and then you do your shooting. For the purposes of us fighting, wherever your head's facing is where we are orientated. I don't know if you can see that very well, but we're facing like straight out. It's a terrible token piece for that. Should also turn this horse this way. Wherever the horse you hit at, it's where it's heading. Same thing with these guys, wherever their head's facing is where they're going. It'd be easier to tell if I use the sword. The sword is where we are facing. That makes life easy. It's going to be confusing when I'm looking at this later, but whatever. Anyway, they do their stuff, and they're going to... They have no weapons, by the way. They are just a large transport ship, and all their stuff is put into holding crew and cargo. That's why they generally take safer routes. But since the crew is like, oh, we have defense people, they took a little bit riskier route, and it has not paid off, unfortunately. These guys do their stuff. They're single-man fighters, from what I can tell. Oh, there's my book. That's unfortunate. Let's see. Oh, they're 2-man crews. Okay. Yep. Okay, interesting. 2-man crews it is. They can't do anything during the engineer round because they only have a pilot and a captain. Right? No, pilot and a gunner. I take that back, sorry. So their gunner could do another action if they wanted to, but I don't think they're going to. They're going to save it for their gunning action. Just to get back to my page here that tells me what actions I can take during a turn. Okay. Now it's time for the movement. Our big ship here has a whopping speed of 6. Wow, they are slow. So we've been flying at like half speed with them this entire time. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3. 3 forward. They're flying at half speed, and their pilot is doing a defensive maneuvers basically to give them pluses to their stuff. I don't know why I moved them first. We get to go first. We get a whopping starship speed 10. 10. No. Maybe. Yes, there we go. 10. Okay. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what I just thought of? I did that right. Because for movement, the lowest tier goes first, and then for shooting, the higher tier goes first. Anyway, so they're gonna move 1, 2, 3. What's their speed? Make sure I'm doing this right. Eight. Okay, not that fast actually. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And they have really good maneuvering, so they can face whatever direction they want. They're going to sit right here, so they can have us both at arc currently. 1, 2, 3. I'm pretty sure that gets them within range. Yep. Okay. Ooh. Wow. That's really good. Good thing it's only forward. Alright, so seeing that they've positioned themselves to shoot our friends, I'm going to go 1, slight turn 2, 3, slight turn 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, slight turn 9, slight turn 10. We are now facing this way, which will put both of them in arc. Mostly because we have turrets. But we definitely have one in our front arc. I think this guy's off to our side too much for it to be a side arc, but we can shoot turrets at him if we want. So, that being the case, our captain is going to give up her captain action, and she's going to act as an extra pair of guns. But since you're currently the gunner, or playing the gunner as our rat friend, what are you doing? Or what is he doing?
Should we be aiming at the closest ship and letting them have it with everything we got?
Sure, if that's what you want to do. I'd say yes, do that, because we're definitely in range with our guns. And heck, I might even do the that's not quite right. Precise targeting might be interesting. Well, it's not 12-4. Fire at will, right, would let you fire 2 starship weapons regardless of their arc, and each attack is made at a -4 penalty. So you can fire 2 guns, or you could not take that -4 penalty and just pew pew with one weapon, whether it be the torpedoes or the light particle cannon.
I'll take the -4 penalty, and I rolled a natural 20.
Oh, got a critical off the bat! Woo-hoo-hoo! All right, so with the light laser cannon, or whatever, light particle cannon, I don't think that has a special critical, but it does do extra weapon damage, and you get the I have to roll for their systems to see. So I'm going to roll a D100 for you since you don't have that to see what systems are affected. 63. I think that is their something. the chart in here somewhere. Here it is. 63 is engines. Yeah, you shot him right in the butt. That's unfortunate.
I'm sorry, say that again.
You done shot him in the engines and goofed up their engines. So I gotta check their critical effect here. Score. There's roll on. This is. Okay, yeah, so it does just go down the line. So, I also need you to see if you roll how much damage you do, because they do have shields, and we're shooting them in the aft shielding. I need your damage done. Do you know how much the cannons do, or do I need to look that up really quick?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Do you know how much damage the cannons do, or do I need to look that up really quick?
You have to look it up. I have no idea.
It's okay. Alright, so these guys. Light. Particle beam, here we are. Medium range. It's 3d6. And since you're critical, you get to double that, so it's 66. Wow. It seems like a lot, but we shall see. So you actually might not do damage to their ship because you have to blow through their shields. But with 3d6, it's a possibility. Handy dandy internet time real quick. So, 3d6, question mark?
I'm sorry, what?
I still need your 3d6.
Oh, sorry. Nine total.
9 with 3d6? Or 6,
Yeah.
sorry, 66?
Oh no, that's only 3.
Okay, well, roll 3 more and do better than that.
Much better. Oh, that one off the board. Ha. Okay, so 26.
26, perfect. Just barely break through their shields and do 1 point of damage so the critical actually affects their engines. So, this ship over here, we're going to flip him over because he has a critical on him, has reduced engine stuff, so their speed is slowed. Also, did you roll any ones with that 9 you rolled earlier?
No, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Then we're good. Don't worry about it. Okay, so what's your other weapon you're firing?
Can we use the which is the torpedoes the biggest weapon since they don't have any shields?
Yeah, technically.
Yeah, let's hit them with the torpedo.
Okay, roll to hit. It's another gunnery check and a -4.
I'm sorry. So what?
Roll another gunnery check.
With a -4?
Yeah, so it's -4 minus his 8 or whatever that he gets normally, so it's just a +4 instead of +8. 8.
Okay, so 4. 4 + 4 + 8. 8 + 4 + 8 + 4 + 4 + 8 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 + 4 19 plus 4, then it's 23.
23 still smashes, barely. By a lot, by a little. Yeah, by a good bit, actually. So, torpedo damage. So I definitely didn't change my page or nothing. I want to say it's like 2d12, but let me lie to you. Light torpedo launcher does 2d8. That was close.
Can you roll that for me?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I can do that. 1 that turns into a 2, and a 7 that stays a 7. So a total of 9. 9 plus whatever does 10, which, going back to the ship here, its critical damage is 7, so it takes another critical threshold silliness. Dun, 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 dun. What happens next? Oh, hey, come back here. An 85, which is the power core. Woohoo! So all engineering actions have to try and hold together with glitching. They're taking a -2 penalty. So not only did we shoot them in the butt, we also shot them in their core. They're not happy about it. Okay, so since you fired rocket launcher and the other thing, our AI is going to fire the light laser cannons on the... Oh man, did she take the... She could also take the action and fire both of them. Yeah, why not? So she's rolling at a -2, basically, because she only gets a +2 and taking the -4, yada yada yada. Wow, alright, so she misses terribly on the first shot, fires the second one on the top, still misses. So she pew pew! Nothing. We fired all of our guns that we could. You know, I just thought about that. She could only actually fire one of those, so I'm going to re-roll that. Because I keep forgetting the other laser, the light laser is on our butt. It's our butt gun, just in case someone's chasing us. Okay, even with her regular +2, she misses terribly. So, pew pew pew! Nothing. Alright, enemy's turn. They only have one target. And they're just going to pew their particle beams at them. 2 shots from 2 different ships. 1 hit, 1 miss. So 3d6. Total of 10 points of damage. I do not think that gets to this thing's shields. Nope, they're fine, barely. But it was a solid hit. Their shields are now not so happy. They get to return fire. Haha, just kidding, they don't have return fire. Probably a poor choice, but, you know, whatever. Their ship's their ship. You'll also notice that their ship is basically a modified G7 Astro Hauler, just like the ship that we fought, except for they've taken the weapons that were in the other thing and turned them into people places. So, you know, a crew can fit on here. Just as a note to explain why they don't have guns. So, that being the case, pew pew time. Or not pew pew time. Engineering check time. What are you doing?
Diverting to weapons again.
Okay, you divert the weapons again. Make your roll.
$24.
Okay, 24. You're good. The weapons have been diverted. The extra pew pew is ready for pew pew. Next is... Sorry, I'm definitely doing this in the wrong order. But it doesn't matter. It's engineer round. Our allies are going to go, and they're going to take this time to call these guys losers or something. They're going to use a captain action. So their captain yells mean things at them. It's hyper effective. Everything they're rolling suffers a -2 penalty. That's hilarious. Because they've been comm signaled and called shenanigans. This dude here is going to give up his piloting action. to do an engineer roll, or gunner action to do an engineer roll to rebalance the shields, because you done goofed up the first time. So let's see if he does that well. Oh, hey, come back. 8 plus pluses. Doing a science? Can they do science officer checks? Hold up, let me look. They actually can't do that. Never mind. They can't rebalance their shields. Their butts are in trouble. You can make an engineering check to try and patch something, but that's about it. So he's actually going to hold his action, hold pilot action. Same thing for the other guys, because they can't really do anything during this round. And now for movement. So first one to move is our big ship here. And they're just gonna 1, 2, 3, 4 smash. They're gonna try and ramrod the ship, which will
You'll bounce them.
Yeah, exactly. They're just gonna into them, which will stop their movement and whatnot. But it will put them at point blank range of the enemy for getting shot at. So yeah. Hey, I'll take that. 18 plus pluses breaks through their would-be AC. Now I got to come up with ship damage. And then for the enemy's roll for breaking, not getting smashed, 11 plus their pluses, which will be piloting skills. 14. So that's a 24. Yeah, no, they still beat them by 1. Wow. Okay, all right, that's fancy. Right? Let's see, 18 plus. Let me make sure I'm not lying over here. Yeah, they got a plus 15 to piloting. Wow! Wow! Alright, that's fancy. So they smash and don't take any damage back, or take half damage back, I should say. It is a teeny ship on a small light freighter. Huh. Well, I've definitely been using the wrong token. Ignore me. Hello, friendly ship. You are going to beat this guy with the number 10 attached to you. Bam! So since they are only one size apart, there's not going to be a mage crushing blow as they run into them, but I'll give it a D12. Why not? That sounds fair, right? Oh, hey. They do 9 points of damage. If they were a large ship, like I said, I think that would have been way more effective. But instead, they're just crazy maniacs crashing into enemy ship. But with that, as an added effect, I'm going to disable this thing's movement, and it cannot move this round. So, other dude's movement. It's going to just rotate towards us as no actions, because they have fantastic piloting, right? Good. Oh, okay, so they have to actually move on. So that's a good boop, and then they can turn. And they're just going to move there, because that'll put us both in arc. My turn for piloting. Let me see any fancy maneuvers the pilot could do, because I've literally just been flying, but there could be something fun. Something exciting. Where to put that? Pilot action, so we got fly, maneuver. Stunt, full power, audacious gambit. I have at least 12 ranks in piloting. How many ranks in piloting do I have? I have 6 ranks in piloting. I'm halfway there, boys. Okay. I do have full power though, but I don't need it right now. Alright, stunt. page. Flyby, burn. So I'm going to try and do a flyby. And it is 15 plus 3. 4, we'll say. Okay, so 19. I got to roll a 19 on this check. Which means I have to roll above the 5. Or 5 or above. 14 plus pluses. Got them. Okay, so this allows me to fly through their thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't hit them, but we're real close. So, doing the flyby, though, lets me do what? Lets me do something fun. During the following gunnery phase, you can select one arc of your ship's weapons to fire at the enemy vessel as if the vessel were at close range, treated as Hex 1. Against any quadrant of the ship's starship, to perform the stunt, you must... Okay, so, gunnery... Since we did a flyby, you can fire any of your weapons at this thing's uncovered butt, even though we're way over here. But only one. Or you could let the computer take a shot from underneath with the laser cannons.
How close is it to being destroyed?
Not. It's only taken one technical critical level. These are tough ships. They are actual fighters.
Well, we should pound it with everything we have then.
Okay, so you want to take your check against it?
Okay.
Okay, so what weapon are you using? Our best one is the light pulse cannon.
Yeah, light pulse cannon.
All right, roll to hit with no negatives because we only get to fire one shot.
What pluses do I have?
So it's either your piloting bonus or your base attack modifier.
Oh, so 18.
18 total?
Yeah.
You barely hit. Whew. Whew. Good thing its AC is not so great. The other ships I had you guys rolling against, that would have missed terrible. Anyway, that is 3d6 against the unguarded quadrant, so it's straight hull damage. You could technically do that if you wanted, but
5, 5, 4, so 14.
14 points of damage. It's looking rough, and you've activated 1, 2, 3 crits on it, basically. Right?
Yep.
One. Sorry, I gotta do math here. So you already had one. You got yeah. Okay, so two more critical threshold crits. So let me roll these really quick and see what's going on. 40 something again. So you are getting not their engines, but that's actually important. I should probably know this. I believe these guys are gonna die. Had a bad run and ran into us. Okay, here it is. 40 to 60 or 31 to 60. Weapons array. Hey, nice. So their weapons are at a -2 for shooting at people. Yeah, so their damage and their two attack are down. And then your second shot was a 90 even, which is their power core again. So their power core is now malfunctioning. If you get to wrecked on power core, they die. Right? No, a wrecked system. If a power core is wrecked, all crew actions were shipped are null. Power core take a -4 penalty. This penalty stacks with penalties from critical damage conditions affecting other systems. So, sorry, one more is destroyed, so you need to hit it 4 times. But even still, you've hit it twice. But it's having a rough day, to say the least. All right, our handy dandy friendly gunner is going to fire at the other ship. She's got a whopping +2 to hit. She needs a 15 or higher. Oh, she rolled a 14. That's so sad. She only gets one shot. So that was our turn. Pew pew. Miss miss. Or just hit miss. Hit miss. Now these guys, they get to fire, and they get to fire before these guys get to do nothing. So, they are... Technically, they would be there. So we're in arc. Yeah, because they ran at that. So they can shoot us or our other ship. We're at range 0 for them. So we are in range of their... Excuse me, sorry. We're within range of both of their weapons, which is super unfortunate for us. Because they can do this thing called magic torpedo units. And we're right next to them, so we can't really dodge. Alright, so they roll our against our tracking, our target lock, which for our ship is a whopping, not a lot. Hey, I get to self-focus. Pilot rank, so 6. 6 plus 9, so... Wow, why is total ranks not a thing? That is unfortunate. I need to up that apparently, because that means our AC is also pretty trashed here too. Okay, well they only have to rail a 9, and their plus to hit is at least that. It was 7, I guess. They rolled an 11, which would also hit our AC. So they hit us with this weapon. It's gonna hurt in our front aft because we're staring at them. Oh, actually, I take that back. That's really not that great. It's only 2d4. 2d4? Of course, it scrolls away as soon as I'm looking at it. Yeah, 2d4 plus 2. Wow, those are super terrible torpedoes. 3, 2 plus 2, so 7 points of damage to our front shields. I guess we only have 30, so that was a good hit. And it's 30 divided amongst our 4 quadrants, so front and back both having 10, and then the sides having 5 apiece. So we're down to 2 shields in our front, or sorry, 3 shields in our front. Enemy ship, we are out of... Well, actually, we're in their front arc, but they can't shoot because the ship is blocking. So they can only shoot our friends at range whatever. They're going to use their pulse cannon because F our friends here. 14 plus plus is definitely hits. They do 3d6 PP damage. Oh no! Alright, 12, 15. 15 points of damage to our friendly ship here. Even with their redistributed shields, it blows through them and they take some actual damage. Let's see. Yeah, because they could only get up to 7. So they take 7 points of damage, which is just short of their critical. So, pew-pews away. That's the turns. Alright, back to the engineering round.
I guess I'll fix the shields.
Okay, so you can divert, and it gives 5% of our total shield value, which is a whopping 1, and restores it if you succeed on the check.
20. Natural.
Wow, fantastic. Unfortunately, I didn't do anything super crazy, but I'll let you double our percentage and give us 10% shields restoration. So we get 3 points of shields back to the front. While you're doing this, our extra gunner is going to take her action and go be a science officer to balance the shield systems and see what she can do. So she's going to make a roll. So +2, 13 plus totals. She's not able to do it. She fails because she dumb or something? I don't know. It didn't function the right way, and she basically loses her turn for us. And that's it. Our friendly amigos here are going to do the same thing. They're going to try and rebalance their ships. They succeed just fine. Enemy ships can't do nothing. So movement phase, starting with the slow ship. They trudge through 1, 2, 3 before they can turn. And then they're going to go 4, 5, 6 and kind of just refocus this way. When they fly through the enemy's square, the enemy gets an attack of opportunity, basically, with one of their weapons. And they're going to fire those magic torpedo things, because that's what I would do. 8 plus pluses, which is their piloting rank? No, it's their gunner stuff. Gunner, where are you? 15. The use of piloting, because it's better than their base stack. So 15, that's the wrong ship. Sorry. Yeah, gonna be 7. So 7 plus 8 is 15, which is under their AC, or, no, target lock. Still under their target lock. So, the missile just off in the middle of nowhere. They missed terribly. Nice. Next is enemy ship's movement. They're going to move forward 1 and rotate because they're shooting at these guys. These guys are going to fly by 1, 2 and not cross into our square. 3, 4 and turn around. Get us in their guns. Our turn. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rotate on the backside here. And be in their back arc and their back arc. We are very fast. We don't have good shields and all that other fun stuff, but we are flying. That's my turn. You're the gunner, or Yoski is the gunner.
Alright. Here we go for the roll for the phase cannon.
Okay. I assume you're shooting the already injured ship?
Yeah.
Okay, blast him.
17 plus his, is it 8?
Yes. Yeah, you got
25.
him. You got him good.
3d6?
3d6, yep. Need all 6s. Finish this guy off.
4, 5. So 13.
13 points of damage brings our total up to 37 points of pew pew, and it explodes. Actually, I take that back. It might just be disabled. I can do the 2 more crit rolls. That won't matter. That won't matter that much. Okay, so their weapons are fried, and their life support, I think, is what it is. Yeah, life support. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Is done for, or not done for, but at least glitching. But they're out of the fight, so I'm going to pull them off the board. Put them over here for later. Next is, because you're the only one that can shoot. So next is these guys, and they're going to use their aft weapon, since we're directly behind them. And they're going to fire out their torpedo netty thingy that they have. Laser net. So they roll to hit our AC. 13 plus pluses definitely hits. It does a whopping 2d6, which is 7 points of pew 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 pew. We take our first bit of damage because our front shields are completely shattered. Sorry, I was facing this guy the wrong way. Yeah, our front shields are KIA, unfortunately. So we've taken our first point of damage. Obviously nowhere near our critical threshold. We have 70 hull points. We're pretty tanky. Anyway, pew-pews from the peanut gallery. It's the other ship, sorry. They don't have any weapons, so they can't shoot anything. They will take a captain's action, though, and taunt, basically. They fail terribly. Next, back to engineering round. What are you doing this round for engineering?
How are our shields looking?
We have no shields in the front. Our shields on the side and back are still there.
So I guess I'm going to try and repair the shields in the front.
Okay, so you're going to try to divert power to our front shield. So go ahead and roll for that. Remember, if you do that, you're only going to give 1 shield point.
Right. Well, one's better than nothing. So 17.
17 plus pluses, yep, you're good. Or 17 total is still good. You divert enough power to the front shields. We now have 1 whole shield up front. Our science officer on this hand is instead going to have them target, do a specific target, because we're so close, I guess. Maybe, perhaps. Okay. Target system. There we go. On the enemy ship, this requires your ship to have sensors. You must be attending computer check. Blah 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 blah. Well, it's only about 19 or 20. Okay, so that's not really worth getting at this point. She didn't have enough ranks in that. So instead, she's just gonna try and do the balancing the ships again. Hopefully, she rolls better than a 4. She does. 13 plus pluses is good enough to get her over at 15, right? Because half times. Yep. Okay. So you just need a 14. So we're shifting our shield points from one quadrant to another, including depleted shields. Yeah. Okay. So she's gonna shift all of our front shields or back shields to the front, and our side shields, or I should say 5. She's gonna put 5 in every corner, basically. So we'll have 5 on the sides, 5 in the back, and 5 in the front. It's better than nothing at this point. How are we doing on top that way? People are talking on Twitch. I'm sorry, I have stats over the top of you because I can't look at them on the computer. Anyway, what was I? Alright, so we're... Okay, cool, perfect. She's done that. Instead of firing extra shots. Movement phase. They do nothing. Nothing happened to them last round. They can do another captain's check, I guess. Fail terribly again.
Okay, I gotta make a phone call.
Oh, okay.
I'll be back in a second.
Well, that'll let me do my rolling, I guess. Movement. So you can go first. 2, 3, 4, 5. They've already balanced their shields, so we'll see what happens. Ooh. Wow, what a terrible roll for the enemies. They beat them just because they have better stuff. So 6 plus 14 is only 20 versus 15 plus 10. So they hit and do half the damage back towards themselves. Again, it's only a d12, but it disables their movement. Ooh, 11. Not quite max damage. They take 5. Their shields are gone again. But on a side note, they're on their side arc, so yay, friendly team. We're gonna move and we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. Actually, how do we? Sorry, we're facing this way. We have to move one forward before we can turn. Now we get them a free shot because we go here, leave their thing, which will take a free shot before we turn. We just go blast them, fools. We'll take the shot. It seems like something that we would do. All right, so they get one pew pew.
I'm back, bro.
That's good. 12 plus pluses hits our AC. We take another 2d6 of damage. I'm going to say it's to our side arc, though, as we're flying by. Oh, 9 points of damage. Alright, so we take another 4 points of damage on the hull and lose our starboard shielding as we get hit with another laser net. I've done my movement. I probably should have done a flyby, but I didn't. So, poor choice on my part. But where was I? Ah, yes, pew-pewed rounds. So, RJ, that's on you. Are you doing the crazy doubly thing or no?
Sure, let's do that.
Okay.
Do the phase can and torpedoes.
Okay.
22.
Got him. Nice roll. And then secondary shot? Or actually, you should probably roll damage in the secondary shot.
Okay. Damage. It's 3d6 on the phase cannon?
Yep.
6. 5.
5.
6.
Wow,
So
what
17.
a roll. 17. Okay, so that does not blow through their shields off the bat. I was like, how did we do it the first time? Oh yeah, we could have done it the first time. So, good damage to the shields. Second attack.
18 plus 5 is 23.
23 hits for sure. Roll damage. This one you're rolling the 2d8.
You need to roll a d8. I don't have d8.
Sorry. 6. 3. 9 more points of damage. 9 plus 17 is a total of 26, which goes through their shields. They take 1 point of hull damage. But they haven't taken anything else and we didn't crit. So nothing crazy, but we've depleted one entire side of shields. So good job, us. They were pinned in place, so they can't move or shoot any of us because our friendly ship slammed into their sides. And that's that. So, back to engineering phase.
I guess I'll repair more shields.
Okay, go ahead and divert some more power to the shields. We lost our starboard shields completely.
So 26.
26. Yeah, good. You get our 1 point of healing. Do you want to put it in the depleted area or stack it to another system?
Put it to the depleted area.
Okay, so we now have at least one on the starboard side, which is better than nothing. Just as a side note, we are 1 hit point from taking critical yada yada. Not that that's a huge deal, but just so you know. Next is... I think, actually, the computer's going to take shots at this guy and see how it goes. Other ship's going to try and do some repair work on their end. They're good. Engineering 16, so they succeed. They also put some shields back on their front, though their front's a little crunched from running into people a couple times. Movement. They are crunched into these guys, so they will actually just kill their engines, which is a whole ass roll for some reason. They succeed. They stand still where they're at. They're not. They obviously release from these guys, so these guys get to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they turn. So they're just in range of their weapons, and that's that. they would, quote unquote, engage these guys, but since these guys don't have any weapons, they just get to fly through them with no craziness. We get to move, and we go, haha, we see your thing. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that where they on? 9, 10. So, no, I want to stay over here, so I want to go right here. So we straight line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and turn. Right in their side arc, which they don't have. So haha us. Pew pews. We get to shoot first.
Cool. Should I double up or should I just try and go for the straight?
Double up. You've been rolling great. They don't have that high of an AC.
23.
23. Smashed him with the pulse cannons. Roll damage.
3, 4, 6, 13.
13 points of damage. Alright, so you did one. So you've actually activated 2 of their critical thresholds. First one rolled is an Ot 0. All zeros, baby, which is actually 100, which is their core. And then the second one is a 92 hits to the core. Their core is not doing so great. It's actually real mean.
So photon torpedoes?
Yeah, you didn't even fire. Oh man, that was one shot just straight to their tummy.
21.
21 hits. Roll damage.
I need 2d8 from you.
Sorry, you're right. D8 1, D8 2. 3 and an 8, so 11 more points of damage. You said you did 30. No, okay, so that puts it at 25, which means you activated one more critical barrier. If I can find it.
Okay, I gotta make a phone.
Okay.
All right, I'll be right back.
That works. 70, which is their engine, so they're -2 on their engine rolls, so no fancy piloting. Alright, since he's gone, I'm going to move through everything that we get to do, because we're done shooting. In your face, these guys are going to roll to divert. They failed, so they cannot put back a shield. I'm going to assume we're going to do the same thing, so I'm going to roll for him. 8 plus pluses. I don't know what his plus to engineering is. I want to say it's 8, so I'm going to say it's 16. So I'm going to say we're going to get one whole shield and throw it in the weaker side of our ship. We're going to save guns for what's-her-face. Same thing with captain actions. The ally ship is going to also take their captain action and still try to talk mad junk. They fail terribly at talking junk. And then, let's see where else we're at. Movement. Alright, so starting with the frigate here.
I'm back, by the way.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, smash. Again, they're just playing bumper cars with these guys, knowing that they have a good amount of health to work with. Again, opposing rolls here. Okay, this time the enemies got them. They had a 15 plus pluses versus their 12 plus pluses. So they do. The enemies avoid the smash. Is what that does. So they can move freely, and now they're just within 1 as they try to crash into them. So still advantageous if they fly through them. They would get to shoot, except for they don't get guns, so it's on them. And they're going to take full advantage of that and just do a flyby maneuver, which they have a -4 currently with the 2 criticals they have. So they're doing their flyby, so they're rolling at a +11. And they only need like a simulation 14 or something silly. And they rolled a 14, so they easily, 3, 4, 5, flippity. So they're still in range. Turn around to face us straight forward. And then on their shooting turn, they get to treat this as if it was close. Actually, I take that back. Instead of going 5, they're going to fly quite a bit more. 6, 7, 8, 9. They can only go 8. And then turn. All the way at the end of their thing. So they have plenty of range because they get to act like this guy's close, even though they're not actually close. Now our turn. We're going to go, you're dumb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And rotate. Sorry, I guess if we're facing this way, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Turn. We are still in your side. We are still firing at the open space. They get to go pew pew. And they can actually unload all 3 weapons into our friendly ship. And they are going to. So, let's see if they hit. First attack with their net underneath. Actually, they can't fire all 3. Says me. They only have the dude and the pilot, so they only get 1 action. Because they use their other action to fly instead of pew pew. So, they can't shoot us. They might as well hit these guys with the best weapon they got, which is the particle cannon, and they are definitely within particle cannon range. Right. Yeah, 10 hexes, so they're good. They're going to pew pew from a distance here. 1 thing, but they are at a -4. 17 minus 4 pluses still hits our friendly ship's AC, taking 3d6. Worse roll than last time for sure. 6, 9 total. Unfortunately, that eats through our friend's shields, and they take a critical damage. Taking straight to the power core as well. So they get rocked. Their power core is now glitching. Next up is us.
I'll do the double thing again.
Okay.
Face cannons for.
And our AI is going to fire light.
Light laser.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a 20.
She hits. Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. Go ahead and do her damage.
I'm pretty sure it's just a 2d4. But now I gotta look because I don't think I've ever shot anything with them before. That's a first. I'm very impressed. All right, light laser cannon, where you at? Light laser cannon, short, 2d4. Yep. Point plus 10. I gotta check that out and see what that does. Point. Okay, so that's cool. It's a defensive weapon for the butt. If we were firing torpedoes at its butt, the other ship should have been able to try and shoot them down. That's my bad. Sorry for that enemy ship. Definitely did that wrong. But regardless, 2d4. 3. She does 6 points of damage. It's not dead, but yeah, if you don't finish it with the particle beam, I'll be surprised.
So I rolled a 20 and damage of 14.
Oh yeah, it's dead. With the 14, I'm going to roll the last 2 things. She rolled a 41, so that was weapons again, so their weapons were even worse. And then for you get a 19, which is not health, but literally the only other thing you could get. It's like the science officer bay. It is sensors. You hit them in the sensors. So again, the science officer bay. And 25, again sensor. So you hit them in the sensors real good. Their ship is disabled / destroyed. They're kind of just floating through space in parts. You get a comm from your ally ship and say, "Hey, we're alive!" Maybe this route wasn't the best of choice. Do you want to spend the time to pick through their parts, or should we get out of here in case they have friends?
Let's pick through the parts.
Okay, so I'm going to do 2 percentile rolls as you guys spend the time to get the parts. 41 and 55. So you're able to salvage a good bit of the ships themselves. And then I'm going to see if by chance the pilots are alive. The first one definitely dead. Second one also dead. Yeah, you killed all 4 crew members there. They got splooted. Not a big surprise, but the ships themselves were in piles of wreckage. Yeah, you didn't goof them up good. They are being added to your ship, though the ship notes nothing. You guys did perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong for you guys to fix. So good job, you.
Is that your phone making the noise?
Yeah. I'm getting Snapchats from random yahoos. So let's see if we can make it to the first station. You guys made it most of the way before this encounter happened. So, or second station, I should say. Yeah, you guys make it. No issues. I rolled super high. So, they collect the scraps. Do you guys do your help them out as usual? Do you guys check for information here? Or do you just kind of like chillax and repair your ship with what you can?
Well, and then we have the 2 ships that we have scrapped. Do we sell that as well, or?
So remember, you won't actually sell those until you get to the end of your journey. These little stations
Okay.
are repair, refuel, and pick up
Gotcha.
more scrap. So like the ship that you're flying on didn't have a full load to start. It was empty. When
Gotcha.
it went to the first station, it's a quarter way full, which is why I was so eager to just ram the other ship because it wasn't losing any would-be cargo. The fuller it gets, the more cargo it's going to have, all that fun stuff. But I digress. I don't remember how we're supposed to handle repairing damage and whatnot. I think it's supposed to just kind of happen naturally over time. Obviously, if you guys take enough time to rest, which is docking at the port, your shield's completely recharged. You guys took 6 hull points. You want to make an engineering check to try and patch those while you're at a place.
Sure.
Okay. So if we look at the patch action as just as an idea, you can patch the system, reduce the critical damage. Not worried about that. Hold it together. Here we go. You can save to. Okay, so that's just for that. Quick fix, which you guys are not doing a quick fix. You're doing a regular fix. So we're just going to call this the fix action. Go ahead and roll an engineering check.
23.
20. Got it. Barely, but you got it. So with this fix action, right, it obviously takes an extended period of time, and you don't have to spend a resolve point. And it obviously lasts for longer than an hour. Whatever. Yeah, so all the engineering stuff for the most part is either divert or fix criticals on some level. Which seems silly to me, but whatever. You do your fix, you repair the would-be damage, we're back up to full health, full shields. We take off to our next destination, or do you want to do more on the space station? That will take us, a day-ish of our time. Not that we're in a rush, just as a side note.